Disclaimer. We are regular guys who love to talk Bone Thugs and Harmony. We do not represent Bone Thugs or any Bone affiliate. We are also not Bone Thugs experts. The views and information you hear in this podcast may be based on personal opinion. Please feel free to leave corrections and clarifying information in the comments. And enjoy. What's up, y'all? It's Cecil West, Beyond the Harmony, beyondtheharmony.com, back again with the one and only
Jonathan Lippy.
And something snazzy, something jazzy. His name is new every week, but some things never change.
I am Matthew Weaver.
And you know what it is? It is Thug Thursday. We are back again. We are back again live. YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, Facebook. It is Beyond the Harmony Live. Some call it Thug Thursday. Some call it their little piece of solitude in the Bone Thug world. We are back, boys. It feels like it's been a little bit longer than usual.
Yeah, I'm speaking of live. Are you alive right now, Cecil? How you feeling, man?
I'm good. Good.
Nice.
I'm out here doing it. I'm doing me. I worked hard on the interview till early this morning. I've done the damn thing, and I'm in the zone. You know, I'm the rock. I'm the rock of this interview and shit. So I'm here. I'm here to deliver rock bottoms.
What about you there, M-Dub?
I just got back from, I spent about a week in Las Vegas. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it.
I've been there.
Las Vegas.
Sunburned, disease-free.
Nice. Atta boy.
Had a great time.
Yeah, I watched. I lived through the IG story post. You know, kind of envied.
You see me out there, right? Poolside. You
poolside.
Catch me poolside, right?
Yeah.
That's a line from something, isn't it?
Was
the Wish pool party? The Wish. Man, it eluded me. It eludes me to this day.
I was gonna ask if Vegas was as lit as a Wishbone pool party or not.
Guaranteed it wasn't. I know that.
Yeah.
Man.
Well.
Pat. Splash, splash.
Well, here we are. We got Matt Weaver back from Vegas. Johnny's here. Tonight, we interview Flesh and Bone global artist Smokey Da Bandit. We've had Smokey on for a small little window during the huge Season 3 finale. And I've been saying since, I don't know, Season 1, Season 2, Smokey's been down with us a very, very long time. And I've been saying it's time to get that full length. We covered a little bit during his, just his little interview with us. But I'm gonna dive in deep, and I'll say that one of the commitments this season was to make sure that we were reaching out and we were touching more of the current affiliates and getting them just worked into our platform and showing them the same respect that we're showing affiliates from the past. We did that with Rocky Rock. We're doing that with Smokey Da Bandit. And, season 5, I have continued plans. You heard it here. Season 5, I got continued plans as we are creeping up on the end of another great season of Beyond the Harmony.
Yeah, man. Smokey seems like the people's champ. Like, it feels like everybody's rooting for this guy. So I hope that a great career blossoms for him, because it seems like everybody's pulling for him. At least from what I see. I mean, he's a real likable guy. So
Yeah,
hope the
well,
best.
and I think he's really interactive with the fans, and he makes sure that he's just interactive with the fans, which I think from a fan perspective, I mean, that makes all the difference when you got a guy that is taking the time to talk to you and taking the time at the shows to meet people and things like that. So, I think that's why so many people like him. Fan interaction goes a long way. Nobody can tell you that more than Busy Bone. Busy Bone launching his IamBusyBone.com, launching the War of Roses pre-order, launching the Heavens movie remixed and remastered pre-order. There's a lot of fucking shit going on. We got a couple minutes. Let's dive into it. It's and a pre-order for a documentary as well, DVD documentary. I think that at least the album and the documentary are slated for September 12th. The Heavens movie remixed and remastered. No official date.
Whoa. So the documentary's coming out in 3 days, you're saying?
You know what I mean? I think that was the date. I think that's the date that I saw. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure that was the date I saw.
Wow. So now this Heavens movie, it sounds like it's a high price to pre-order it. Now, I don't know if anybody's is there any rumors like maybe Hell's movie will be included?
Why fuck with people? Do you just want people to attack you in the comments or what? It's $29.99. $30. I've also heard that the shipping price is exceptionally high on the fully remixed and remastered. Right
now, is that with the DVD? Is it with that documentary? It's $30 for a compact disc in the year 2021.
A short one. It was a short compact disc.
Okay, look, there's no track list with it. This is what I'll say. I will gladly give him $30 multiple times so that I can add multiple copies to my collection if this features some unreleased songs and some full versions of short songs. I will gladly buy 3 copies right now. However, if this is the retail version of Heaven's movie remixed and remastered, and the last time I remember somebody remastering something was Kermit Henderson remastering Faces of Death and changing the cover, and it was the same shit. If this is just that, ooh boy. Yeah.
Sparks will fly.
There's also an array of Busy Bone merchandise, Heaven's movie merchandise. You can order a mask, a poster, a long sleeve shirt. So there's a bunch of other stuff. So yeah, we'll see.
What if it has the full versions to the snippet songs? Would that qualify enough?
Absolutely. I'll buy 3 copies. If there's something that first of all, there's other songs that are unreleased that I think that he should just be including. But even if he's not, even if it's just like the full versions of shit like Marching on Washington and Yes Yes Y'all, shut up and take my money. But if it's not, oh boy, it's gonna be upsetting. The documentary is also up for order. The official physical DVD. There's also a premium package you can get with all kinds of shirts and masks and all kinds of shit. The website says pre-order for this item is to be shipped ASAP. So I don't know where. Maybe I thought I saw somewhere that was also September 12th, but maybe I'm wrong about that. But we do know War of Roses. War of Roses, the brand new Busy Bone solo album. It's up for pre-order right now. You can pre-order the CD for just $19.95, which I will say is very fair to me for a CD.
Did you see the behind the scenes of Warriors 3?
I did not really, no.
Have there been any snippets or anything besides Warriors 3 released to promote War of the Roses?
Well, Warriors 3. Just like I said, when it happened, not on the War of Roses track list.
Oh,
so
that's interesting.
When Cecil West was saying, this isn't gonna be on there, you motherfuckers, and everyone was crying, oh, this terrible Busy Bone song with AC Killer on War of Roses. And I was like, shut the fuck up. It's not gonna happen. Here we are. It's not happening. It's a one-off, like I said. All the snippets I've heard of War of Roses, fantastic.
Oh, there are snippets out there besides.
Yeah,
okay,
he's been posting them to his Instagram, things like that, and they've been fantastic.
Actually, it's just 3 days. I might as well just wait for the album and be totally surprised. So I'll do that. I want to know from both of you guys: have you seen Mo Thug Warriors? It's Lazy Bone and The Chemist.
I sure know you've pushed it on me hard the last 72 hours.
Dude, this video, it's everything you want, Cecil. Like, it's like if it's the whole crew, like the whole like present day Mo Thugs, and Lazy mentions all the old Mo Thugs in it, and everybody's having a good time in the video. Flesh and Crazy are in it, like just with cameos chilling off in the cut. A real happy vibe song to it. But it's like you see everybody. Kane has cameos. Rocky's got cameos. I mean, you see a bunch of people. I left a couple out, but
Flesh is there.
Yeah, Flesh is in it, and
yep.
It's we haven't seen them kind of capture the whole family feel to it, and this one has it. So I'm real happy with both of them.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out. I've been busy as fuck, so I can't lie to my Beyond the Harmony family. I haven't had a lot of Beyond the Harmony time lately. Everything going on in the world, things are gearing back up for me to hopefully be hitting the road, and I've been very, very busy with that. But I'm gonna check it out. This is what I know. If John says, "Yo, this is everything you want," he knows.
Visually, like what you. I'm not saying song wise, but I'm saying. I
didn't assume song wise. Believe me, I know.
But I'm saying like it helps rebrand Flesh and Bone Global, Harmony House, with shouts to Mo Thugs, and it just brings it. It's what we had been saying they need to do to help us understand the entire roster or aspects of the roster. So,
well,
it looked like they were doing it right. Whoever put it together had the right idea.
Hey, I'm gonna check it out. I love Lazy Bone, even though he blocks me on everything. I love everything Lazy Bone does. So
I think he's got like a new platinum grill or something. He's smiling a lot in the video. He's got something going on. He's looking fresh and brand new. He's looking shiny, blinging. So Lazy looks like there's like a spark to him now. He's shiny. So I'm digging it. Also, by the way, Bruce Hathcock dropped a new single. Shout out to Bruce Hathcock.
I think I knew that. I think I knew that was coming. I haven't seen it, but I think I knew it was coming.
Oh, I heard something today, and this has existed for a while, but just in case nobody's heard this is a treat. Somebody put together a Crazy Bone version of Family Tree, where it's all three Crazy Bone verses from all three different versions of Family Tree into one 5-minute song.
That's cool.
So that's worth peeping out. Just because, just having one Crazy Bone verse from Family Tree is phenomenal, and you get all three of them combined. It was pretty dope to listen to.
I'm having a little issue. I guess you guys aren't on the screen right now, so if everybody's not seeing that, don't worry. I'm working on getting those beautiful faces of John and Matt back for you guys right now, and they should hopefully be there.
While you're doing that, hey, Fleshbone, don't get fucked up. Is
don't
it an anti-drug song?
Up. I don't think so. I think it's some real old school Flesh and Bone. Don't get fucked up. I'm the fifth dog, and you can get fucked up shit. And I love it. I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. Raid and Rush is on there, 2 verses. The only complaint that I've heard people have is they wish they would have got another Flesh and Bone verse.
Did you see the Lazy Bone feature called Uplifting? It's him and some other dude.
No, but
it's like all the way singing with like an acoustic guitar or something. I'm glad Lazy made it. Like it's like I feel like Lazy's being real experimental lately, and I'm liking it. I mean, it's experimental, right? So experiments don't always come out that great, but at least it's not. At least it's different. So I'll say it's a different kind of song. It's worth checking out for the novelty aspect. I'm not saying like it's a slamming track, but I think a lot of people in the comments seem to appreciate the message. So uplifting, Lazy Bone.
For some reason, you guys are freezing on the screen. Matt, I get you to check your mic.
How do I sound now?
You sound great, but I can't get you guys to show up on the screen. This is a problem for the night. Anything can happen live. Beyond the harmony. Although I don't know why this is happening. This is some new ass shit to be thrown at me.
Well, while you're figuring that out, Therese asks, is there a message in the E1999 Eternal album cover that says, don't give props to the devil? Yes. And also, believe in the last days is on the other side. If you look in the spine, if you hold it up, it's on the inside spine. It says, don't give props to the devil on one side and believe in the last days on the other side.
Treasure, are you fucking with me? Are you trying to punk me right now? Is that a real question?
I answered it because every time I've answered this question, there's always been somebody that says, really? and they go grab their Eternal cover and like, holy shit, has that been there for 20 years?
See, I guess I say that, but it's like every time I do one of those videos, like the Mothug cover decoding, it's like tons of people don't know. You know what I'm saying? Tons of people don't know those things. Like the hardcores do, but tons of people have no idea.
Right, exactly. And even the ones in possession of the album, and not only that, like the Eternal album cover decoding, tens of thousands, 50,000 people at one point had seen that video, and like half the comments were like, I always wondered what all that meant, and then they seen it.
Blaze in the house. Shut up, my man Blaze.
Nice.
It's my dog.
Yeah, Blaze has a track with Smokey Da Bandit. It's pretty dope.
He does. Rifa. He sure does. Yeah. Jordan Corey says King Jamma is doing an all R&B EP on the way.
Yes! Yes! That is the news of the week, bro. Oh, man. Hey, do we got a release date on that King Jamma? Oh, man.
All right.
That is... Oh, bro.
I'm going to try to get Smokey the Bandit in here. Smokey!
Yes.
I think I got the video issue worked out. John, it was weird. It made you look like shit, and then you would freeze, and then nothing would work. So hopefully we don't experience that shit a bunch with Smokies on here. I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that tonight runs as efficient and flawlessly as possible, y'all. Fucking A.
Fucking A.
Beyond the harmony. It's been a long time. Shouldn't have left you. That snippet Soulja Boy posted of the R&B was crazy is what Blaze had to say.
Bro, I can't. Oh man, I'm so fired up. I might take the day off work. It's just that, man. That was the best part of both of those solo albums. The Soil and the Flowers, all the R&B angles. Well, actually, it was that Beast track that was dope too.
I guess that's cool. Daryl Daly, why do we never see Cecil? Daryl Daly, you called into the show for an hour and never turned your camera on. Okay, stay out of my. Stay out of my closet, Daryl. We see everyone except for Cecil. We never saw you. You were on here for an hour. Just talk. How do I even know that you're from Jamaica, man? Like, I didn't even see you, so.
Wait, I seen the guy.
You saw a picture?
I did. You mean to tell? Oh, man, it's so funny. He was so captivating that I imagined he was moving.
Ha!
He wasn't actually on the video?
Ha! No.
Oh my God, man. Hey, that guy was a great interview. I swear I was moving the whole time.
Why don't we ever see Mr. West is what Blaze wants to know. My mother told me I got a face for radio.
Yep. I actually have a different theory. Cecil, I think that you might be so beautiful that the world isn't ready.
All right, this is what it is, okay? We already got one guy with a gorgeous beard, and if I show y'all what's on the other side of this camera, I'm not trying to outshine Matt, so there's that. Daryl Daly says it was dark.
The game ain't ready, maybe. The world ain't ready, maybe.
All right, I sent Smokey an invite. We'll wait for him to get in here. By the way, I see Blaze in here. I was talking, and we were talking about Raid and Rush earlier, and I just want to say that, and I briefly said this before, but I truly believe that Raid and Rush could be the Blaze to Flesh and Bone. He is the thing that I've heard consistently bringing that Flesh and Bone sound back. The fans seem really happy with the last 3 songs. I'm talking just in terms of the music they're making. I don't know Raid and Rush's ability as far as the marketing and things like that, but I've been really impressed with his ability to capture that Flesh and Bone sound that everybody wants to hear.
You know what? I think he's actually almost reinvent. And I don't know if it's Flesh or Raiden, but Flesh is like new and improved. It's not even like an old Flesh that's being recaptured. It's like this reinvention of Flesh, and it's like the best Flesh yet, in my opinion. I mean, I'm not trying to downplay what you said, but the new Flesh is awesome.
Shout out to Turok, $4.99 super chat. We appreciate you very much, Turok. Very instrumental in our last show that we did, a fundraiser for Feenics Ryzin, and he came through really big. We were able to send over 500 big bucks to Feenics Ryzin from us. That's not including the PayPals and the direct donations, and again,
Turok,
shout out to everyone.
Yeah, and Turok, check your P.O. box. I shipped you a Feenics Ryzin CD over the weekend. So it's not really like an official Feenics Ryzin CD, but it's Feenics Ryzin, all the tracks we have burnt to a CD. So check that P.O. box when you get a chance.
Blaze says, if Bone does a group album, it needs to be me and Raiden on production. He's a beast. I agree. If you guys throw Excel Beats in, you sold me. Tell me what the budget is. Uncle Cecil will bankroll the whole thing. I'm going to be going to see Bone Thugs and TLC upcoming soon. I'm not going to say where because I don't want the thousands and thousands of Beyond the Harmony fans to mob me while I'm out with my friends just trying to enjoy the show. But I'll be at Bone and TLC. I'm really excited to attend, even though no Busy Bone, and even though TLC is really just the T and the C. It's always fun to see Bone, and I've never seen TLC, so it should be fucking awesome.
Yeah, man. I got to hear about that TLC. Love TLC.
Yeah. John recommended all kinds of ways that I should sneak a camera in. It's hilarious.
Hey, and I want to know, too, if they perform the ways of the world today. Sometimes I feel like it's the last track with Andre 3000.
I will try.
That song was the bomb, man.
I'll try to.
Something Wicked This Way Comes was the name of it. That's the best TLC track. I mean, besides like Waterfalls and all that, but like album track, Something Wicked This Way Comes with Andre 3000, ahead of its time.
Yeah, I'll try to keep track of these track lists.
Yeah, do that for sure.
I mean, I'm going to try, you know what I mean? I'm going to be there. I'm going to be hanging out. I just started smoking weed again after taking a 60-day hiatus, so I'm probably going to be so smoked out in the crowd. So we'll see how much I can keep track of, but I'm going to try.
That's awesome.
I think Smokey's got a different email, or maybe he's got a different Zoom now than when we did the last show, so I'm just trying to get that, and then we'll get him in here. What did Blaze say? I'm telling you, they knew what I knew when it comes to the possibilities. We should all put 10K in and blow that shit up.
Yeah, man. I'm glad to see we got like an all-star chat room today, man. This is great.
Yeah, look, everybody. Trio's in here. Daryl Daly's in here. I'm not showing his face. Very suspicious of him. Kevin Starks is in here. Jordan Corey. Turok, Terez. Wow, this is Beyond the Harmony OGs.
I was saying that the people love Smokey the Bandit, man. Everybody's pulling for the guy, so everybody's showing love tonight.
Yeah, well, trust me, Smokey's been such a friend of the show that I'm really excited to have him on because I've wanted just exposure for him to the Beyond the Harmony fans. I mean, don't get me wrong. I want it for everybody. I want everybody to get the fans behind them because I know the Bone fans are tough and I always truly believe that part of the reason that newer affiliates don't get over that the way they should is because there's just no connection there. So I'm hoping that this helps the connection.
Yeah. No, it seems like anybody that encounters him loves him, so hopefully some new people will be here tonight. They'll see some Smokey. They'll have some new fans and keep going forward, man. The dude's so cool. He's just a real cool guy.
Blaze was just talking about how, Smokey, I didn't see the exact message. I had to flip away from it, but, Smokey's a cool guy. He's a real one, I think he said. I'll flip back to it in a second. But we were talking, Blaze, about you and Smokey's song. That's one of my more favorite Smokey songs. I love that Smokey's kind of becoming like the weed guy. I mean, he's already Smokey the Bandit, but, he's got all these weed songs, and he's got a new song out called No Smoking. We were talking about Flesh and Bone appearances. Flesh and Bone's in that one. Flesh and Bone doing the cameos in the fucking new Smokey the Bandit. Lady Smoker, who's also a Bone Thugs affiliate, does the chorus. So, that shit's kind of cool. He's got all the good weed songs.
I think everybody wants to see Cecil because they're tired of seeing my face all the time, running my mouth, getting all that camera time.
Well, look at Matt Weaver for a while. Like, once you look at Matt, there's nobody left to look at.
Make some noise, Matt. Oh, he's on mute.
Your day just gets better after that. I just provide, entertainment. I'm a crowd pleaser. What else do I say?
Matt,
I'd say something, but the camera's going to go back over to me, and I want to keep watching Matt on the screen.
I've got my neon pink T-shirt on today, looking real fly. Summertime attire, even though it's September. I'm not ready to let summer die because I was in Las Vegas, right? So.
Yeah, how long?
Coming back to reality.
How long were you? How long were you there?
It was probably about 10 days or so. Lots of pool time. I was at Caesars, had my feet up, listening to. Is it Mo Thug Family? Thug, the new HC one. I'm excited to see HC and Lazy together. HC was on Lazy's last album a lot, and I think there's a good formula there. But yeah, man, people don't know what to do when they see the beard in Vegas. They think they're seeing things.
Yeah,
I just tell them it's an illusion.
That's a lady killer right there.
Yeah.
Try not to get in trouble.
No. I escaped from LV, starring Matthew Weaver, 2021, coming to a theater near you soon.
Did you pass by the Raiders Stadium?
Nah, I'm not really a sports guy. A lot of my friends that were there, they did, though. They went and took pictures in front of it. It's a brand new stadium, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's like a year old now. Maybe two. Yeah. This is the first year they'll actually have fans get to attend. Last year, COVID. I can't imagine how the investors feel.
Does Lippy or Matt even know what Cecil looks like? No. Neither one of them have ever seen me either.
The world's not ready. It's too beautiful.
Yeah, Matt knows what I looks like, and what I looks like I'm Popeye. Matt knows what I looks like, and John and myself and Kyra Wolf were all hanging out at a festival together all weekend back in 2019. So, yeah, both of them know. Daryl, man, I'm feeling good about myself that Daryl wants to see what I look like so badly. I feel ultra important.
International man of mystery, maybe.
I mean, what it's not about me, right? It's about the guests. In fact, do you remember, John? Do you remember when we started showing you, and we were really on the fence because we were like, well, it's not really about this. Like, part of what makes the Vlad shit so good is you never see Vlad, not because you don't know what Vlad looks like, but because you get to see the guests the whole time and their reactions full time. Traditional interviews, you only saw their reaction talking, and you know, that I think that's the part that made the Vlad shit so good, is that you saw the guests the full time, so you got the full experience of their reaction. And we were very on the fence if you would ever see any of us. And then I really don't know how it happened. I think it's because once we started doing guests, so you could see the guest as well, they wanted to look at somebody. When I pull my camera up, it kind of bogs the situation.
Well, shout out to Houdini Black for kind of breaking the ice on the whole thing.
Oh,
anyway.
yeah.
That's where it all began.
You guys can kind of go see me on the Houdini Black interview. When we all went on the Houdini Black show, Renegade Radio, my camera was on then. I mean, it was COVID season, so.
But you know, it's even before Beyond the Harmony, the mask has always been your style. You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, not always. In your solo career, not so much, but in your group career, the mask was always present.
I fucking told you, face for radio. Like, what the fuck?
Well, I'm just saying, it's not like this is your first time, and this is kind of like this is part of who you are. You know, it's part of the mask.
No,
the
look,
mystery.
the real reason is I have a different career outside of Beyond the Harmony, and I don't want to be fucking bugged. That's it. It's me being as real as possible. John loves when all the different layers of his life leak over into each other for some psychotic reason, and I just don't. Like when I go to this Bone show, I fucking want to be able to just go and enjoy it. We should have Smokey Da Bandit in a second. We're trying a different way to get him in. The invite didn't seem to be working, so no big deal. He's working on the back way in. He'll be here momentarily.
You know what? Also, along those lines, people used to always say I was always trying to bring people together that had nothing in common, and so
I could see you doing that for sure.
Yeah, like people with completely nothing in common, and like, hey, let's all get together and have a good time. For me, it was a good time, not for everybody else. So.
But yeah, did you guys notice that TLC tour is not coming to the Northwest at all? So I won't be able to catch it. Like, there's no Washington, Oregon dates at all. It's like,
what do you mean, Ric Flair? You're out in fucking Vegas and shit. Like, just get in a plane and come to this fucking show with me. It's easy. You're jet flying, limousine riding, Matt Weaver.
I did it before. I actually went to Las Vegas for concerts. So
okay.
I do be out there.
If there was a Flesh and Bone pool party, could I get you to get on a plane and go?
Oh man, I would leave you high and dry on this podcast to go book my flight.
Has anybody ever seen Flesh in a pair of shorts?
That's a good question.
No.
I think basketball. There wasn't like a shot of him playing basketball when he was young, Duncan, or on the court, like with like a blue uniform, basketball uniform. I'm just trying to flex some Bone Thugs knowledge. I'm trying to nerd out here. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Let me ask you this. In your mind, okay, I'll give you that. In your mind, try to picture Flesh swimming in a swimming pool.
I could kind of see it.
Fuck that. Flesh is too badass to be out there swimming.
Swimming's not tough guy stuff.
Don't get fucked up, John.
Bro, drowning is like a serious threat to your life. Navy SEALs are like some of the toughest guys ever.
Dog.
You know,
Big Stack's gonna be pissed you're talking about him trying to swim out here. Fuck that.
Hey man, Chad Ochocinco used to brag about being the Liberty City 2-time swimming champion and that he could beat Michael Phelps. Just saying.
Blaze says, I learned my lesson with industry pieces. Once I started showing my face, all hell broke loose. Oh. Yeah, bro. You know, it's interesting, right? Because was there any part of you that was like, wow, I have this industry pieces and I can use this to help propel my music career. Because John is like, hey, you got a lot of people that like you. If you just played some of your music, like they'd probably get behind your music. And I'm like, I don't want to use my platform for that. But he's probably right. I play a little bit of my music for some of the guests that we have just on the low. Blaze may have even heard some of my music. And maybe someday. Maybe I'll play a song someday.
I'll put out the old lyric. We could put Lyrical Fusion, Getting High on the South Side, and you'll see the people who appreciate it, and then you'll put out some of your stuff.
Well, you know, if you play that, you'll see why. I think we got Smokey the Bandit. Smokey, you in here?
I hope so.
There he is, Smokey the Bandit in the house. What's up, brother?
What's happening?
You know, a little bit of trouble getting you in, but that gave us a little bit of time to have some fun and talk a little shit. And it looks like you gave Smokey a little bit of time to roll up, so everything worked out wonderfully.
Definitely did.
Bro, we were talking earlier how this has been a long time coming. You've been a supporter of the show since pretty much the very beginning. You and I talk every season about we got to get you on the show. We had that little, you know, dip of the toe in the pool during the season 3, but that was just like a little bit of your story.
Sneak peek,
yeah.
Sneak peek, you know what I'm saying?
And I said, next season, I'm going to get you. And I know in the back of your mind, Smokey was like, this motherfucker Cecil West be saying every season, he going to get me. But we're here. We got Smokey the Bandit.
I wasn't worried about it.
Hey.
I wasn't worried about it.
You know.
I could wait. I know how to be patient.
I always go with the lazy. It's all about perfect timing. And the timing was great. In fact, this was really good timing. You just recently released a brand new single. We're going to jump into that. We're going to jump into the new video. But I know that you're an avid supporter of the group, maybe more than some other guests, and you know how we do it. So I love to just kind of start at the beginning and lay a little foundation, you know, just for our listeners. And just in doing my research, if I'm correct, I believe, is it Waukegan, Illinois that you were born? Tell me that. Tell me, yeah. Did I say that right?
You said it right.
All right. Yeah.
Salute. That's what's up. And you did your homework. All right. I see where this is going. Yeah, I was born in Waukegan, Illinois. It's a small city north of Chicago, like 45 minutes outside of Chicago.
Yeah. It's like the halfway point between downtown Chicago and downtown Milwaukee. Yeah. So it's like right between them. Yeah.
It's like near the the landmark that everybody knows for, because Waukegan is part of a county called Lake County. And when people, you know, even people in Chicago, some people, when I was living in Chicago, they did not know about Waukegan until I was like, where Great America is. Six Flags, Great America. And okay, that's all that ain't, you know.
And I know you moved around a few times, you know, in your youth with your family. How long were you guys out in Waukegan before you moved?
Well, I was born in Waukegan. That's like it's the only hospital out here in Lake County. Well, it was too, but I was born at the one in Waukegan. They both in Waukegan actually. And then like I moved to Chicago in 7th grade. And then I stayed in Chicago till I graduated high school, and then I just was back and forth and all over the place after that.
Something that I pay attention to in just, you know, your interviews and posts that I've heard you talk about. I've heard you talk fondly of course your mom, but then, you know, your uncles, your aunt, and just like their influence on you and who you would become. And even your uncles were very different guys from each other, but they both had a very profound impact on you. You kind of just fill everybody out about that situation for you growing up and these people that you had to look up to and how they shaped you, you know, eventually moving into music.
Well, how they shaped me and moved me into music, it has always been around me. Like music is, I don't know how it is for everybody. I feel like it's for everybody, but like music, I think since you enter this world, it's some music playing. They got the little baby noise playing some music when you enter, you know, whatever. It's music always around you. But growing up in the household I was in, like You know, my grandma, she listened to old school music. My auntie listened to old school music, and my uncle was actually a gospel singer, and he played piano. My grandma had a piano in the house, and he would, you know, he'd be in there playing piano and singing gospel music, you know. And if we ever got in trouble, we'd get a whooping and had to stand in the corner of that piano. So my uncle, he listen, you know, he's doing his gospel shit, and my other uncle, my uncle Arthur, rest in peace, he was thugging. You know what I'm saying? So he in the streets and he in the room bumping gangster music, and they telling me I can't go in there and listen and chill with my uncle and this when he listening to that music. Well, why can't I go? I can hang with him any other time. Why I can't hang with him when he was listening to that music? So I'm going up in there, and he bringing me in there like, don't worry about that, nephew. Come on. You know what I'm saying? So music just was always a part of my life, and the people that influenced me is like my auntie, because my aunt Phyllis, rest in peace. She used to she gave me my information on music. She would test me and, oh, you think this is old school right here? It'll be a new song that just came out, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is a hit. And she, that ain't new, that's old. And I'm like, what you talking about? And then she'll play me a, you know, an old record, you know. So it's like for the kids today, they'll play Nicki Minaj song, and then you go back to the day, it's fucking Sir Mix-a-Lot, you know what I'm saying, type shit, you know. But she'll do with the old school, like the OJs and, you know what I'm saying, New Edition, and show me that these are samples. People are sampling shit. So my aunt, she really taught me a lot. And then, you know, my uncle, he just, you know, he was thug, and that was like my big brother, so I wanted to be like him. You know, I did whatever he did and shit like that. So that's what molded me into how I address music and how I love the culture. And those two people, actually all three of them, my aunt, grandma, and my uncle, was like very valuable people to my life, and then they all died. So
Yeah, you know, one of the things that I've heard you talk about, you had talked about your uncle and just, you know, his musical influence, and more than just his musical influence, but his influence on you in general, and who he was. And I know a real pivotal point in your life as a young man was when you were 11 and he was murdered. Can you just kind of speak about that impact and how that particular event really helped propel you further into doing music?
I don't know how it propelled me further into music, but it really like hit me hard, and music was my only outlet to like express myself, because I didn't know, you know, who the nigga was and how to get him and shit like that. You know, how we really would, you know, want to do the shit, but
right.
It's like, I'm 11 years old. I don't know who this grown ass nigga is, you know. So it's like, but being around him and my aunt, and just how much he influenced my life, period, how much I looked up to him, that's what kind of, you know, created who I am, you know what I'm saying, as a person. And then you know, he listened to rap, I love rap, and then I just put it into the rap, you know. I just addressed how I felt about life and what I'm going through and what everybody around me is going through. I just put it all in the music. I learned how to create music through my aunt and my uncles, you know what I'm saying? So,
you know,
his death was like, because he taught me about death, you know. I went to my first funeral when I was little, before he died, and I'm not knowing what's going on, and he explaining death to me, and then he get killed. So, you know, that turned me, you know, kind of crazy a little bit.
You know, we had talked about your family and the personal influences of your family, but one influence that I think will be really cool for the fans to hear about is an influence by the name of Chris Cross, and that group, and the influence that Chris Cross had on a very young Smokey Da Bandit to get in the game. John was also highly influenced and has a great love for Chris Cross, so I'd love your input on the Kings of the Jump.
You did your mother. You did some homework, man. All right, this is going to be one of the dopest interviews. All right, so Chris Cross, you know, I grew up listening to rap, and, you know, before I started rapping, I was doing poetry, just random poetry I don't know where that shit came from, but I was doing poetry. And then when my uncle got murdered, you know, I listened to what he listened to, and they was all grown-ups, you know, Ice-T, NWA, you know what I'm saying? He listening to them. BDP, Boogie Down Productions. I'm like, you know, so I'm just used to rap being grown folks doing rap, you know? But then Crisscross came out, and it's like, hello. And then my guy, E-Man, he like, man, you know, he told me, like, you know, poetry is rap, you know what I'm saying? You know, ooh, ooh. I'm like, yeah, he's like, so that shit you be writing in your poems, you could write in your raps, you know. Ooh, ooh. If Crisscross could do it, you know, I'm like, hell yeah, you know. So it was just like, you know, they was a strong influence on that because they was like the first kid group that I knew of that was doing rap. And I was rocking with them. They was going hard, you know.
Yeah.
They legends. One is living legend, rest in peace to the Mac Daddy, you know, but you know, Chris Kelly.
John, I know that you love hearing that Smokey the Bandit love some Crisscross.
I still love Crisscross, bro. I ain't gonna, man, them niggas is legends.
Love them, man. They were my bone before bone.
Yeah.
I love them. All three of the albums.
Yeah.
And they had a Sega CD game too back in the day. They actually had a video game.
They
did.
So I guess what I've always kind of been curious about, because I've just nudged around talking to you about your name before in the past, but I never really dove into it because I knew we'd have you on here. And I've always been curious where you got that name, and if Smokey the Bandit has, you know, been the MC name since the get-go, or what kind of name transitions you may have gone through getting to this name.
I had a bunch of nicknames that I made up for myself, like T-Dog and T-Mac, and Top Dog, some shit, you know. Them were some of my names. I ain't have to think about that in a long time. And then shit, Smokey, the nickname was actually the first nickname ever given to me by my homeboy Bud, coincidentally. His name, a guy named Bud, nicknamed me Smokey. But yeah, shout out to Bud. He nicknamed me Smokey because everybody at that time, we was in high school. I think I was like a sophomore or something. And I looked similar to Chris Tucker and Friday, like his attire, like I dressed like that. We wore khakis and all types of shit, you know. He was hip and I was playing. You know, I'm not a materialistic person. I don't be caring about name brands and shit like that. So, you know, I'm skinny as hell. I was super scrawny and, you know, I guess goofy and shit. You know, I got the little goofy side too. Shit, that's just me. But shit, so they figured I guess they figured I'm like Chris Tucker from the movie Friday, so they nicknamed me Smokey. But then when I started, like, okay, I finally got a rap name. I'm like, damn. But I know a few. You know, back then I'm like, I know some Smokies.
Right.
I know some Smokies. I can't just be Smokey. You know what I'm saying? So I was like figuring out how to come up with a name, another name. And I'm, you know, Tupac, my favorite rapper. Tupac and Snoop. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, how can I come up with a name that's like an outlaw or something? So I you know, and this is something too. When I used to write my rhymes and shit, I used to have like a thesaurus and a dictionary next to me and look up words and shit, because words are just that I never use will pop in my head, and I got to make sure I'm using it right. So shit like that. So I looked up outlaw and like a thesaurus. It's like, what's another word for outlaw? And then bandit was one. So I'm like, oh shit. It's like Smokey and the Bandit, the Burt Reynolds movie that I used to watch Burt Reynolds, you know? So I'm like, shit, I could just be Smokey Da Bandit. Boom.
Yeah. That's good.
I ended up watching the trailer for Smokey the Bandit, the Burt Reynolds movie, in preparation for this interview. I haven't seen it since I was a little kid. The movie was wild.
It's on Netflix right now.
People are saying, like, because of that movie, we got Fast and the Furious. Like, that was the OG Fast and the Furious.
Hey, for real though.
You know?
That might be for real.
Yeah. It was fun. And I guess it was Cannonball Run. Was Cannonball Run like the sequel to it? I never knew if it was like in the sequel.
Part 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in the Bandit Part 2. Rest in peace, Burt Reynolds.
Yeah. OG pimp.
So as you started to become your own man as far as being an artist, and you come into your names, you know, I know that in terms of names, there were some other name changes, including you and your brother's group. You and Pac-Man started your first group, and I believe it was the Foot Soldier Mob, and you guys went through a few different name changes before you kind of came to your final name. Is that right?
What the fuck? You like Nardwark out here? What's his name?
Came to win, baby. I fucking do this shit.
Damn, hell yeah. Yeah. Me and my brother Pac-Man, when we first started doing, you know, we was a group. And our group name was was Foot Soldier Mob. You know, we like ninja. It was me and four, you know, me and three of my other siblings living in one up under one roof, you know. And you know, we like Ninja Turtles. So and we would all play fight in the crib, like fuck each other up though. You know what I'm saying? Fighting, and each one of us was a Ninja Turtle.
So I know that for you know, for him, I know that pretty early on he kind of stepped away. Now I know he's back, you know, with you guys and doing music again. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But initially, when he kind of stepped away and, you know, geared himself more towards the streets and walked away from the music piece, did that have an impact on you as far as your music? And if so, like, you know, just how did that affect you with him stepping away from the situation?
It didn't. The only thing it affected me was it was just, you know, disappointing because I wanted him right there with me, you know what I'm saying? Because we started this shit, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, but you know, you grow up and you understand people, you know, get into different things and got different passions for different things and stuff like that. But he was with me through the dope. You know, my brother Pac-Man, he was with me through the dope. With all my brothers, Pac, Josh, Keneal, you know what I'm saying? They was right there. So I just wanted us to all do this shit like to this day together.
Yeah. Like a family affair.
Like, yeah. You know, we are our own little mob, Foot Soldier Mob. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, we turned it into Empty Souls. And it was just me and Pac as Empty Souls. And then we had a little sibling rivalry, I believe. And we went to the same high school. And then, you know, we had added somebody to the group. Somebody tried to divide us at that time. And it's crazy. I was beefing with my brother in the same crib. We lived. They were trying to take the name Empty Souls as a group and like kick me out the shit that I created. You know what I'm saying? So I turned that shit into a record label.
And but now your brother's back around now.
Oh, he ain't never went nowhere.
Yeah, but I'm saying as far as like music, like he's back into like the music aspect now.
Yeah. He just signed back with us. Like he signed the actual contract, Empty Souls Entertainment. That's really my label. I've been having that forever.
Yeah, that's good. That's
like,
good.
I've been the same,
full circle for the family.
I've been the same person since. Like I didn't change my name. Like as soon as I took it serious, I was Smokey Da Bandit. I never changed it to nothing else. Empty Souls Entertainment. That's my record label. I never changed it to nothing else. It's been that since the dope, through the dope.
A lot of fans, especially if they're a newer fan or maybe fans that just know you since your Bone affiliation, may not be aware of the fact that you do have such deep roots in this game and you have a lot of projects under your belt. Your first project, The Flesh is Weak, The Soul is Immortal, is something that you did. It didn't hit its release when you wanted it to, but it was still the first project that you recorded. Can you talk about just like making that project and, you know, going through that process for the first time?
That project was just a bunch of songs thrown together, and I'm just real good at putting songs in order because it was just songs that I collected throughout the years, just trying to record and find the direction I was going into. And then I ran into my producers, my family, Twan, my homie Twan, and my other homie Kodo. I ran into them. They two dope producers that been producing everything for me since after that. Or I think probably some on there too. But they was like, man, just put that shit out. We gonna make some whole new shit. We gonna make some everything new. Just get you ordering music. Just put your shit out.
Yeah.
And so that's what Flesh is Weak, the Soul is Immortal is. And plus my auntie kind of helped me with that and was teaching me like how to be independent. She taught me how to, she helped me make my first album cover for my single called Soul Snatcher off of the Flesh is Weak, the Soul is Immortal. That was like the first song I put out there. And motherfuckers was fucking with that shit. And we was doing shows and shit and shit like that. My aunt taught me how to go to Office Max or whatever, Office Depot, and get like the CD, print up your own CDs and then, get the little machine thing, you put the sticker on it, you put the CD on the top of it, and then you got your label on that motherfucker. Put that shit in the envelope. Woo woo. So I've been doing that shit for a long time. So the Flesh is Weak, they made me put that shit out. And then after that, we just started making more and more music together. Like they really worked.
Now, what most fans, excluding that project, would actually consider your debut would be Chicago Syndicate. Is that right?
Yeah.
So obviously that one is a lot different than the Flesh is Weak and the Soul is Immortal. So can you talk about when you finally do Chicago Syndicate and you put that out, how that changes your life kind of locally and just you as an entertainer?
That shit, I had a team, you know what I'm saying? I had like an army for real at that time. Like I had my own label, then I had my producer, I had in-house producers, and then we was fucking with everybody too. So it's like I got my Empty Soul niggas, my soldiers, Misunderstood, Chris J, Pac-Man, Jazzy. I had a whole bunch of people riding. We was just working. And I was already pushing the Flesh is Weak, so we already knew how to do the hand-to-hand hustle, selling the CDs, go to the gas station, post up at the gas stations, sell the CDs, or go to a show and had the CDs to pass around. And then so through Flesh is Weak, the Soul is Immortal, we learned what we need to do. And then when Chicago Syndicate came out, it was more structured because now it's like I got my team talking to me, Kodo, Twan, and even Lil Wade, and then my homies, and we just, we still was doing what we do and just trying to make it and survive, and we just putting all this shit in the music, and the shit just went harder because it's like we was a force to be reckoned with. We was really out there just busting moves, independent, and we had Flame Spitters and Empty Souls. Like we was really on our like Master P shit. Like, so we had structure with Chicago Syndicate.
Do you remember what year that was that you did Chicago Syndicate and it came out?
It was like, it had to be around like 2007, man, because that shit caused a lot of controversy for me. Like I did a lot of like, I've been on my own since I got kicked out the crib. I got kicked out the crib when I was like 17, senior year, because I was, out there just doing shit I wasn't supposed to be doing. My mama ain't like that shit. You don't want to listen to my rules, you got to get out. But I had to make sure I graduated high school. So I did get kicked out, but then I ended up coming back, graduated high school, then moved out and then came back. So I've been having to, hold my own forever, make money however I could. So I would work a job or I sell some weed or whatever the fuck I got to do to make it, you know what I'm saying? And sell my CDs and shit like that, right? So I was working at the high school at the time when Chicago Syndicate came out. I was working at the high school out here in Waukegan. And long story short, I got fired over my job, over my CD that came out, Chicago Syndicate, because it was causing a lot of, I had got plugged with the principal out there, and he heard about me. He had just came from Chicago, the Chicago school district, to out here to run the school. He had heard about me. He challenged me to like create a song for the students and shit like that. And I made a song called Focus, and it was dedicated to the students and like, telling them about life experiences, what's gonna happen after high school type shit, whatever. You got choices to make. You can do this or fuck your life up or whatever. And so I presented that shit to him. I had the whole layout, the lyrics, the CD packaged up, everything. And boom, I was like, man, if you like this, I want to make create a scholarship to raise, for the kids. I want to create a scholarship because I was working at the high school, and I created a scholarship called the Saving Souls Foundation through that song. But I needed to raise money for it, so I had plugs, and I was trying to put on a show. I was doing talent shows at the high school, organizing them, and I was doing my thing, like putting the youth on, showcasing their talent at the high school, and so I was creating this event where we was gonna raise money for the scholarship I created.
Wow.
Right. And at that time, I was working with some promotion company, and we had brought DJ Unk. I don't know if y'all remember DJ Unk.
Oh yeah, walk it out.
He agreed to come do a concert for my event, and then at that time we heard dude was a janky promoter. So
a lot of those.
So I was like, man, bro, you got to bring him to the school or something. I need proof he gonna be at this concert. And he did. We ended up walking DJ Unk through the high school. He signed autographs. All the kids went crazy. And then like 2 hours before the event, like I had artists from the community, but they was gonna perform and everything. We had this big showcase that I put together. Two hours before the event, they shut that shit down. I'm talking about they putting the stage up and everything, all because of my album Chicago Syndicate. Some girl that I know, that I grew up with, she worked there, right? And she always asked me for my music, right? And so I gave her a copy of Chicago Syndicate when it came out. Her dad worked for Dr. Dre, so I would always give her my music. So she got that shit, but I guess she worked with the gym teacher or somebody who got a hold of it and read the liner notes and looked at the gangster pictures and shit that I had in there and took it to the chief of police, and then the chief of police shut the shit down. And
damn, Smokey.
The attendant came and everything. They, it turned into this big ass thing. And this is how my first song got put on the radio, Trap. Because they took it to the radio station and got to talking about what happened and all this shit, and they played my song and they was trying to trash my shit. Like it was a local radio station out here. They was like, you hear all those blank parts in the song? Those are cuss words. It wasn't trashing it because of how it sounded. It was just like trying to make me look like a bad person. And all of that from Chicago Syndicate, bro. Like Chicago Syndicate. But that was all, I think that was a part of God plan, like showing me I ain't need to be there no more. I was supposed to be doing what I'm doing right now. But the girl, the crazy thing about it, the girl who had the CD that kind of caused all this shit, had my concert shut down. The superintendent, he hated it on me anyway. He didn't want me to I was trying to put a Hurricane Katrina concert on. He shut that shit down. Then he shut this shit down. But luckily the kids know it wasn't me. Right? So that shit kind of caused a lot of like a big wave like that destroyed a lot of shit for a lot of people, even some people in the high school. Like motherfuckers got fired and all types of shit. But yeah, Chicago Syndicate, man. Chicago Syndicate helped me a lot. Like it helped me a lot. It showed me a lot, and it was a great thing to me. It's a classic.
You are a young, driven individual. You talked about, your scholarship. You talked about, these shows, trying to work with DJ Unk. So, a lot of drive. One of the things that you also did early on was hosting an event called the Writer's Block, putting you more of in a promoter's shoes. Did you like that aspect of the game, or being a promoter like that, was that something that you kind of just did more as a necessity to push being an artist?
I think that's a good question. Say that again.
So
it was a necessity.
So because that's throwing shows, all these shows you're talking about, even if it's something like like the Writer's Block, which was more like open mic formatted, like Is that something that you enjoyed doing, being a promoter, or was it more of just like a necessity to use that as a vehicle so you could push being Smokey the Bandit, the rapper? Because a lot of rappers will host and do shows just because it gives them a vehicle to push their brand, but some people really like promoting and putting together shows and going through that.
I started putting together the open mic shit because for one, I wanted to have somewhere where me and my niggas could perform. So it was just like I just wanted to provide a platform for people to showcase their talent. Because I had been to a couple of talent shows and it wasn't for that. It wasn't for just rap. It was like for comedy and shit like that. Like there was this lady, she was a comedian for BET. And I think Def Comedy Jam. And she used to throw these open mics, and I used to go to them open mics because I'm trying to get me right, get me better and stuff like that, you know. But she would always talk shit about rap, like she didn't like rap music, you know what I'm saying? So it's like before any rapper get up there, she letting it be known, I don't like this shit. Ooh. But me and her ended up getting cool, and she saw something else, and then I left from there and just took that format and created one where it was just rap, like mostly rappers, and anybody else could come, but I knew all the niggas in the hood, like I knew all the hood niggas and everybody that rap. So it's like, nigga, I got a spot where y'all could come perform. And you know, at that time I was doing the plus I had got put in the position, you know, God linked me, you know, God put these blessings and put people in your life for certain reasons. You know what I'm saying? A reason or a season. And I got put in the position where I had a place where I could provide that platform. So why be stingy with it? It wasn't about just Smokey the Bandit. Like, I'm going to do my thing anyway, but it was really like me creating my brand for my label for Empty Souls Entertainment. Because Empty Souls Entertainment presents the Writer's Block. So it really wasn't about me as an artist. It was about me on my business shit as far as running my label. There we go. It wasn't about me being a rapper. It was just running my label and looking out for everybody else that's trying to do the same thing. Because at that same time, I also had a radio show.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I know.
And a TV show.
I know.
He said, I know. I can't even see my facial expression.
I know. You know, I think
I can just sense the demeanor.
I think a lot of fans, again, we're talking, you know, current fans or fans that know you from your association with Bone, you know, may be under the impression that, you know, and that's part of why we're doing this interview, is to unravel that there's a full career here prior to your affiliation with Bone. You had mentioned DJ Ung. Were there any other artists prior to Bone that, you know, like larger name artists that you had the, you know, the ability to work with, whether it was songs or shows or anything like that?
Well, I used to do a lot of shows with Twista. I know Twista and Do or Die. I know Do or Die. Back then, when I was doing my shit, I was doing a lot of shows with Twista and Do or Die. But I also was doing
that's a big deal for a guy from Chicago. I mean, being a Chicago rapper at that time and working, I mean, those are definitely in your city, those would be considered legends in hip hop. You know, it's very arguably to say that they're not legends just in hip hop, especially Twista. So that must have been a very status quo situation for you to be working in any capacity with those guys.
Yeah, it was big. I used to do a lot of shows with a lot of big name artists, and I've always been blessed. Like, got put in a position to where, like this is really all God work for real, because a lot of shows that I did with a lot of big name artists, a lot of upcoming artists got to pay for that shit. I ain't never had to do that.
Yeah, pay to play, very common in the industry. Pay to play,
very common. It's real bad too. It's getting worse. Like, motherfuckers talking about you can't do this amount for unless you bring some fans and shit. Like, you're supposed to be gaining new fans. Why you gotta, motherfuckers? You're supposed to be depending on people to come show up.
Yeah, It's a common thing that I think it's like anything. At one point it may have been a healthy way for an artist to get exposed was to pay a certain amount and get on a show that was out of his range, so to speak. But now it's a very abused platform where that anybody can use as long as you got the pockets, and the pockets are usually pretty deep. And I'll say for anybody that doesn't work inside of the industry, it's also it's a very defining thing whether you're an artist who pays to play or you're an artist that's put on shows because the headliner or the promoter wants you there. It's two very different types of artists, that are on these shows. So,
but it's a good look for you, So that's why a lot of artists do it because it's showing that they networking and they getting themselves in a bigger limelight.
2006, your girlfriend at the time, your brother, you guys hit up a Bone Thugs and Harmony show, and you have a chance encounter with their then DJ Ice. Can you tell us about your encounter with DJ Ice and how this kind of led into your eventual meeting with Bone?
Shit, I didn't know DJ Ice or nothing. Like we went to this concert, and it was all of us, our first Bone concert. We was super Bone thugged out fans, and so we all excited. Then we get there, but then I'm on some I got into grind mode, like, nah, fuck this shit, I gotta bring the music with me and woo woo. So at the end of the concert, I'm like, man, I'm talking to my brother, we plotting like, man, how can we meet Bone? What we gotta do? How we gonna do? Like, we gotta figure out where they, woo woo. I don't know, I just be going. And he was like, bro, the DJ's still on the stage. I'm like, oh shit, okay. So he's like, let's go holler at the DJ. DJ Ice. Surprisingly, he was cool as hell. Like, I'm like, man, what's up, man? We trying to meet Bone. I gotta give him he on the stage. And I'm down here like, man, we trying to meet Bone. I gotta give some music. Woo woo. And he's like, man, hey, he came up closer, like, man, go to the back of the club, go wait by the tour bus. They're gonna come outside by the tour bus. He ain't had to do that shit. Why did he do that shit? You know what I'm saying? We could have been robbing Bone or something, you know what I'm saying? But for some, he must have felt it. That was all, a blessing. So we went to the back of the club. This was in Milwaukee. I think it was, what's that club called? I forgot. It's in Milwaukee, though. And we was waiting by the tour bus. It was taking a while for them niggas to come out. So I'm like, man, like, damn, them niggas ain't coming. And then all of a sudden, boom, here come Lazy. Lazy, the first one we ran into and got to talking to, he was cool, he was chopping it up. He really connected with my brother because my brother, they kind of look alike. So that kind of sealed the deal right there. And then my brother
so in the day your brother looks like Lazy Bone, you look like Chris Tucker, people must have thought you motherfuckers were famous as fuck. Everywhere you went.
Yeah, Lazy started calling him his twin and everything, so, and then shit, that's how we met Bone. That's how I got Lazy some of my music. He the main person I really talked to. I got to meet Wish and Crazy. Flesh was locked up. I think Busy was busy. I don't think Busy was there.
So that's when you first met him, and DJ Ice kind of tipped you off on how to meet, how to actually meet them. And I'm sure lots of people talked to Ice in his time, and he was probably a good judge of character. And, I'm sure he was a good judge of character and kind of knew that you were good guys. But that moment, that's not what solidified it for you. And that's not what actually started you working with Bone. It actually took a lot of persistent action for you to become official. And I know that your brother even played a big piece in you guys being persistent and reaching out. What finally got you guys connected and you officially in?
I would say when my brother, I couldn't make it to one of the concerts. Like we would go to the concerts and link with them after that, and we would get plugged. They let us in, And it was just one. It was one after that, the first meeting. It was one after that, and then my brother went to one without me. him and my cousin. And shit, he linked up with Lazy. They was kicking it. He calling me and telling me every move. I'm at work and shit. I'm like, what's going on? He's like, man, we kicking it. We just got through rapping this verse together and shit. Ooh, I'm like, all right, cool. Hit me later. Make sure you give him the music. So I guess he gave Lazy one of my CDs, and then Lazy was like, this dude persistent. Like, call your brother. And then he called me and we chopped it up on the phone. He's like, man, you know, I'm gonna fuck with you. Make sure you get my number from your brother. Ooh. And then as soon as he got off the phone, my brother got back on the phone. I'm like, man, hang up right now, get the number. And call me right back. Texted me, like, get the number right now. And he's like, all right, boom, got the number. And then shit, something happened later on that night. I guess lady love how niggas thug, cause my brother and my cousin got into some shit and damn near fucked everything up.
Ooh.
At an after set, kicking it with Wish and them, and motherfuckers got into some shit and then got kicked out, and they come home telling me they got kicked out. I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, what you mean? They tell me what happened. I ain't gonna say what happened, but it was some shit, you know what I'm saying? And then he's like, should I text Lazy and apologize? I was like, hell yeah. And so he texted him, and then Lay replied back and said everything was cool, don't even trip. And then we got called to another thing. And then we started getting calls like, Kim, man, motherfuckers just, man, can you bring the best weed? Ooh, pull up, you know, because I would always come with the best weed anyway, but they made sure, like, man, bring that shit you had last time. Or where can you get some food where, you know, ain't no pork in it or some shit. Like, motherfuckers, you know, we just had to build a relationship.
I think that if there's one thing that could be said about affiliates of Bone, no matter what era, no matter what time frame it is, whether it's a Mo Thug, whether it's a member of the Life, you guys are fucking road warriors. Lot of time on the road, lots of shows, lots of tours, and you're no exception. You've been to a lot of shows, done a lot of shows with Bone. Do you remember what the first tour was that you officially went on with Bone, and what that experience was like in comparison to being somebody just coming up through the, you know, the local Chicago, underground or local scene? Now you're touring with Bone. Do you remember what that first tour was and what that was like?
Nah, I don't remember when the first was, because
That's how you know it's been a lot of them. That's how you know.
Yeah, it's a lot, bro. It's a lot. Because it went from like one show to like a show back to back, and then it was like, okay, back to one show, and then a show back to back, and then all of a sudden I'm just going to show after show after show, and then take a break, and then come back, and then take a break, and then come back, and the shit just, you know. So it's like, I could tell you the first time when I got to start performing, I ain't start performing for a long. I played the back row, like I was already doing my thing, regardless of Bone.
Yeah.
So when I was on tour with them, I'm just soaking up game. You know, everybody else performing, Sloan, Rocky, fucking Duct Tape Gang, everybody performing. I wasn't performing. Like, Lay brought me in a long time ago, told me I'm no thug, you know what I'm saying? I remember all the talks we done had, you know what I'm saying? So I've been standing by Lay through the door for a long time. So I just played the back row. I wasn't trying to step on nobody's toes. I don't even know how I'm gonna be able to perform anyway. It's a whole army of motherfuckers performing. Like,
right.
Get a chance to perform. And then I know one couple years ago, like I think it was when One to Smoke. I've been fucking with Bone since 2006. When the Smoke came out, like what, 5 years ago maybe? I forgot.
Yep, 5.
When the Smoke, Stack was like, Smokey performing tonight. It was in the room with everybody, and I just like, everybody's looking like, what? Like, Yeah, I'm like, I was geek, like, let's go.
Yeah.
Then I put on the best show ever. And then I was like, man, I ain't finna lose this opportunity. Shit, y'all letting me perform? Psh, bet.
Yeah. Got to show and prove in that moment. Let people know that should be a repeat situation. You had mentioned that, Lazy was like that first Bone affiliation, but you had just pointed out, Flesh really pushed that first time for you to be on stage. We know when Flesh came home, you guys seemed to really get connected. You grew into an affiliation as well with Flesh and Bone Global. Can you talk about what it is about, Flesh that the two of you seem to just connect so well? And now you guys have really grown a great relationship.
I think it's just big brother syndrome. We big brothers of our families and camps and shit, I guess he just see that, he see my determination and my ambition and drive, and he support that like they all do though, like my nigga Meninsky Mob and Deacon, like he got on me hard. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Deacon of the
He's
church.
done a lot for you too. He's
did a lot for me.
He's done a lot for you. I know.
The money in my pocket. You feel me? So like, got me a feature with Daz. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, he can do. And Stack. See, they see this shit in me, and they be just giving me gems and you know what I'm saying, telling me, like if I was trash, I'm pretty sure they would not leave me on this far. You know what I'm saying? And tell me like, man, that shit cold. Like, bro, you know what I'm saying? So they be getting behind me and telling me this and that. And I think me and Stack just really got behind me, Shit. I can't explain it. I just like, all right, you know what I'm saying? But Stack always preach how we all the family tree. This all under one entity, Bone Thugs and Harmony. Use the platform. This is this is ours, all of our Bone Thugs and Harmony. It ain't just FBG, Harmony House, Mo Thug. Like, people, you can claim whatever you want to claim, but this is all Bone. You know what I'm saying? The empire. You know what I'm saying? So the Mo Thugs and the whole branching of everything else it's still all one empire, because we all still fucking together anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And it's always deep at shows. I mean, and that's
army.
That's something that has always been attributed to Bone since the very beginning, is that they roll into everything deeper than everybody else, and it's never changed since the 90s. If anything, they're deeper than they ever have been when you see one of these shows, especially these arena shows. I mean, it's like you said, Bone comes in as a fucking army. And there's a lot of guys like yourself who play that background role for a long time before you start to see them and know them as a fan. So it's really interesting how like the system works. It's almost like you got the majors and you got the farm league, and people work their way up and down this Bone Thug system. And it's really cool when you see somebody that kind of breaks the ice and becomes quote unquote like household name to the Bone fans. You had mentioned the support that they kind of all give you, and you seem to have a real good relationship with pretty much everyone. Even Busy Bone, who at some times can be real distant, you seem to have fostered a great connection with. So I guess my question is, I've seen Flesh in videos, I've seen the additional like vocals by Lazy, but when are we gonna start to see that Smokey Da Bandit featuring Flesh or featuring Lazy? When are we gonna start to see those features? It feels like they're real close at this point.
Hey, you'll see. Shit, coming soon. Shit.
Okay.
It's about time though. We've been talking about it and shit like that. Yes, me and Flesh. And Busy and Lay, we done chopped it up. We done brought the studio on the road. We done had some shit recorded, but you gotta have that good quality sound, and sometimes niggas be turned up. You know what I'm saying? The shit ain't coming out right. So we didn't have some attempts, but it's coming. Don't even trip.
Outside of Bone, is there a dream feature? Like, who's at the top of the list of this is who I'd like to have a song with besides the Bone Camp?
Too many to name.
There's not one that reigns supreme above the rest.
Nah.
It's tough because you've in person met and had so much interaction with so many people that it must make it even harder to select once you start to have any sort of
relationships with the people that I grew up listening to, like, you know what I'm saying, idolizing, and then I meet these motherfuckers and kick it with them and network and get their numbers and chop it up, and motherfuckers fuck with me when they see me the next time. It's like, you never know, like when we gonna be able to work, like, because people got busy schedules and shit. Like, I'm chopping it up with Tretch. You know what I'm saying? I just met Tretch. We chopping it up. You know what I'm saying? So, like, when will the Smokey Da Bandit the Tretch song come? I don't know, hopefully. But I'm working on all of that shit. You feel me?
Yeah. we had talked about just the army that is the entire Bone Thug family. And I'm always curious with, so many affiliates and, like we had said, people that are connected that the fans may not even know, like, this person is very important in the equation. Do you ever find it hard to not get lost in the shuffle of this many people?
Nah, not at all. I do me, bro. I don't worry about what none of them other niggas doing. I support. I show my support. I show my support to who shows support to me. But I just do me. Like, I'm not sitting around waiting for Bone to do a show and none of that shit. I want to do my own show. You know what I'm saying? So, like, everybody working. If you working, you working. If you ain't, you ain't. But I'm working, so I can't get lost in the shuffle when I gotta have my own deck of cards.
Yeah, you stay busy. Even during the pandemic, you stay busy, and I'll take my hat off to you that I paid very close attention to the internet and streaming events because I knew that they were going to become kind of a mainstay, a staple for a while. You and Crazy Bone were some of the first artists I saw come out with a streaming event, and that is absolutely fact. I saw a lot, that happened, but Crazy's and yours landed very close on the calendar, and they were some of the very first streaming events that I actually saw. Was you guys, do that? Like at that time, what was that like for you? We didn't have these shows. We couldn't go to those shows. Were you just like, yo, we got to stream this live? Or how did that come together? Because now it's like a normal thing, like a streaming show. But at the beginning of COVID, it was like, how the fuck are we going to get our live music?
Well, I was just with me and my team, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, we seeing the versus thing going on?
Yeah.
We was watching the versus thing, and then we just was seeing, that was kind of like the move. And then, I figured if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it right. So I just started, watching, learning and shit and figuring out how we could do it. And I figured out how to do it through Facebook. A lot of people didn't even know how to do that. I figured out how to get paid off of it through Facebook.
Yeah.
I could have just went live, like.
It was awesome. The whole setup was awesome.
Easy, you know what I'm saying? But we organized it, and it was for my birthday too. So I was just doing something, trying something out and seeing, what could happen. And it actually turned out real good,
Yeah, no, it was good. I was there. I bought actually a few tickets and gave a couple of them away. So yeah, I was a big supporter of it. I always love to see everybody work, and I always love to make sure that everybody around is being supported. We were talking about that many affiliates and what you do. Is there an affiliate that you seem to click with like the best? Like, is there somebody you really get along with more than the rest, or somebody that just kind of like you're always with? Like, everyone seems to like have that other person that they're like, yo, that's my fucking guy right there.
AC the Chemist. That's my dog.
Yeah.
That's my road dog.
Shout
AC
out.
the motherfucking Chemist. Trap.
Yeah. Shout out to AC the Chemist.
We've been on the road. We've been road runners together, shit, up and down across the United States together, AC, that's my road dog. We got it out the mud and this shit together, so AC the Chemist and Lady Smoker and the twins, Family Affair, I'm cool. You know, we all click tight. And Nova, I fuck with Nova. I fuck with everybody that fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? I got love for the whole camp. We all kick it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But shit, I be with AC the Chemist the most and Lady Smoker and Family Affair when they come through. You know what I'm saying?
So, you know, Mo Thug
my
and
nigga D-Rado.
oh yeah, hell yeah,
D-Rado.
shout out D-Rado.
D-Rado. Yeah.
And of course, like you said, like a guy like Manensky, very instrumental to like
He the
all
OG.
you young guys. Like
He the OG.
people don't know his reach because you talk about like the Snoop Dogs and shit like that, and people don't realize it's guys like him that have the I can pick up my phone and call these guys because we go way back, like Easy E back. So
Yeah.
to have a guy like that on your side is incredible. That's a guy with a lot of history, a lot of lineage that I don't think that the average fan is aware of.
Manensky.
Yeah.
Manensky, the OG, triple OG. That's what I call him. What's up, OG, triple OG? Like, that's that nigga.
Yeah.
That's the man.
You know,
That's the man. And Duct Tape Gang, them my niggas too. Like, them motherfuckers be turned up.
yeah, everybody says we got to get Duct Tape Gang on here. I
Yeah,
probably see the comment probably once a week on a fucking videos to get Duct Tape Gang.
Hey, they go as far as back with Manensky too. You know,
Smokey's the link, bro. Smokey's the link. You got to tap motherfuckers into me, Smokey.
Hey, Duct Tape Gang ain't nothing to fuck with. You feel me? Like, them niggas some real niggas. You know what I'm saying? I know they got some stories. Like, them niggas been around since Easy E too.
Yeah. Yeah, no, everybody wants to get them on. There's always, you know, it's like fans always ask for, you always see a comment for anybody and everybody, right? But there's like some consistent people all the time, and Duct Tape Gang are very consistent. There's a lot of roots, like you said, they go way back. And do you ever feel like with this much history, this much roots, being an affiliate now, do you ever think that it's harder to get over with this current wave of fans in comparison to like the previous, you know, chapters of Mo Thugs? What's it been like trying to like win over the fans now in comparison to like, you know, the Mo Thugs put out a lot of albums in the 90s, and I always feel like those helped connect the fans to them. So has it been harder to connect to these fans now? As far as being like an affiliate?
It's I don't know. I just take it for what it is, for real, for real. Like, if you gonna fuck with me, you gonna fuck with me. If you don't, oh well. Like, I'm this is a part of the brand that I'm a part of. So if you choose not to fuck with it, then you don't fuck with it. But like, I'm still gonna show it to you and put it in your face because that's what I got to do. You know what I'm saying? So, like, in comparison to the other Mo Thugs, like, they solidified, like, because they solidified. They could put out anything right now. and the fans gonna be like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
The Bone Thugs fans is a cult. That's a real fucking cult. Like, they don't play. Like, so they don't give a fuck about. They really don't. Like, they'll give you a listen, but it's like, you ain't Soulja Boy though. You know, like, you ain't Busy Bone. Where's Busy Bone? You know what I'm saying? Like, why you ain't got Busy Bone on there? Like, you know what I'm saying? They ain't really worried about it if you gotta have like Bone on that shit. And even if you got Bone on that shit, they might take you off your own goddamn song.
Takes a lot to win them. Bone fans are crazy. They're the type of people that make a whole fucking podcast about them. So, you know, these are
promote to everybody. So even but they gave me the platform to rock. You know what I'm saying? To see if the fans, because they know they got a cult following. You know, they fuck with me. If they fuck with me, they should fuck with me. If not, it's cool. I'm still gonna do what I do.
You know, we talked about that before you were ever an affiliate. You were a Bone Thug fan. So between fans here, what's your favorite Bone album, and maybe what's your favorite Bone song? And do you feel like that's changed since you've been with them and you do these things live compared to like before you knew them?
Yeah, it is different because, like, I don't know. Because I'm still a fan at the end of the day, still with them. Because I be playing some of their old shit to them that they didn't forgot about. I be like, why y'all don't perform this? Yeah, they get to telling me stories about this and that. Like, man, you remember? Yeah, you remember? Like, and then I play something else. They be like, go DJ Smoke. Like, man, how you want to perform this? Like, I play, it's an everyday thing. Just the other night.
Oh yeah.
Why y'all don't play it's an everyday thing. We ain't
Fans
let
would
the
lose
things
it, bro. Fans would lose it.
They told me a whole story of what happened around that. I'm not gonna tell it because I ain't getting in trouble. But it was a brawl between two super groups. That's all I'm gonna say. You know what I'm saying? If you Bone fans, you know what I'm talking about. But off of that song, you know, they told me a story and shit. Like, damn, like what? What? And then it's like, so I'll be getting history on songs that I was always a fan of. I don't know, man. I know I liked the first two albums, like real hard shit. Man, nah, I was a diehard Bone fan. Whatever they put out, I was like, man, what's we gonna learn these lyrics and all that, all that shit. We was doing all that.
One of the things that I think it's important for us to acknowledge is just the full circle of your career being a Chicago native, starting, you know, just at the entry level like anybody else doing this. But in 2017 and 2019, you won awards from the Chicago Music Awards for the Best New Entertainer and then Best Urban Entertainer. What's it been like for you to rise through those ranks in Chicago and earn such a high level of respect in a place like that where music, like we're talking about, Twista, Do or Die, Crucial Conflict, this is a very serious place, very serious for hip hop music to win those awards?
I think those awards made my peers just really be like, damn, okay, he really doing this shit. Like, because I grew bigger and better relationships with different, you know, people after that, you know, and my shit really started really doing some work for me, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, my shit super branded and like, yeah, them two awards, they did help. They help put a bigger star on my name, you know what I'm saying? Like, but them awards, you know what I'm saying, to see who won prior to that, you know what I'm saying? Big names, it's like, damn, okay, this ain't just no regular award. This is like a Chicago Music Award. I grew up in Chicago, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, it's dope. And then I don't know. I've done shows with bigger Chicago artists that's legends from out here, but like I got closer with more after that, damn near. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
The Conflict, and you know what I'm saying, and like Cold Heart, that's my nigga. I talk to Cold Heart from Crucial Conflict all the time. Like, he called me all the time, and he did put me up on a lot of game and in the industry, and just he be giving me dropping jewels just like Bone. Like, that's my brother, like Cold Heart, you know. But I still got a relationship with all four of them: Kilo, Y Style, and Never. Like, you know what I'm saying? So just like with Bone, I got a family relationship with Crucial Conflict. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, and other legends like Psychodrama, Triple Darkness. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of Chicago legendary groups out here besides just Twista.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I got a relationship with all of them. Snipers, you know what I'm saying? The legends that we grew up listening to, Buck, Side, Nooses, you know? Chicago legends. The forefathers damn near, not like Lil Durk, and you know, because they doing their thing too. They about to be legendary too. Lil Durk and Lil Pappy and all that shit, you know.
You know, Bone, no strangers to Chicago. Crazy history in Chicago with some of these groups that we've talked about. Those things, of course, well in the past now, and you know, you're kind of like a middle ground guy. You're from Chicago. You run with the Bone camp. With those things being over, has that always been easy, or have you ever caught any like shit out of Chicago for being like a Bone affiliate like that?
Nope, not at all. That shit is crazy because I was a fan of all of that shit, you know. And I'm in Chicago, listen to this shit. It's like, damn, I don't want to go against Bone, but you know, it's home, you know. But damn, Bone coming with some shit too, you know. It's like I'm still rooting. Come on, Bone, like you know what I'm saying. So the shit, but nah, crazy as it is, all the people that I grew up listening, I watched the beefs. You know what I'm saying? I watched the beef as a fan and as an up and coming artist. And then I grew relationships with everybody involved. And they all tell me different stories and different, you know what I'm saying? But from Chicago, like everybody that was, you know, into it with them told me like they versions and would tell me all of at the end of the day conversation after telling me whatever story that happened with that shit, they were like, man, we glad you fuck with them, Smoke, because it's like like we build the bridge and the gap.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because people will think that we're into it when we're not. They fuck with each other. And it's like you know what I'm saying, you bring us together even more. You know what I'm saying? So they love it. Like, cause they all fans of each other anyway. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
they all get along, and then just to see me, I'm from here and I'm with them. It just brings it even better together. You know what I'm saying? Together better.
You're no stranger to helping bridge you know, some of these gaps that may not have been bridged before. In my opinion, one of your largest songs, if not your biggest one to Bone fans right now, actually remixes and samples Gangsta Pat's I Wanna Smoke. And I think that this is a massive fan favorite. And this was actually a song that you really liked as well in your youth. Can you talk about the full circle of being a fan of Gangsta Pat, loving that song, and then remaking it and actually getting that stamp of approval and eventually getting the remix with him?
Dream come true. Shit. Dream that I never thought, I never even, you know, didn't even plan on. Like, it was a dream that came true that I didn't even plan. My producer, Makoto, sent me that beat. I didn't ask him for it. And he always do that. He just be sending me beats and shit. And I guess that's one of the songs he fucked with. He remade the beat. When I got that shit, it was like, damn. This was one of my fucking favorite songs growing up. Like, damn.
Yeah.
Like, cause I could draw too, and I had a house party in like grade school, and I drew a picture to promote the party, and for like some cartoon shit, I had like the music playing in the background. I wrote, I want to roll, want to cheat, want to smoke. Like that was the music playing in the drawing. You know what I'm saying? That's how much I love that fucking song. And people don't even know this, but Gangsta Pat was out before Bone.
Oh yeah, Gangsta Pat was like the first major record deal to come out of Memphis, period. Because as Bone fans, unless you follow Memphis, you know, obviously 3 6 Mafia is always on people's minds when we say Memphis. But if you're from Memphis, you know Gangsta Pat, because he was the first one to get that deal. And Gangsta Pat's not even that far off from Bone, because Pat had beef with 3 6 as well. So, you know. So how did Pat and because you of course did your solo remix of it, but then you end up with Gangsta Pat and Psycho Memphis on a remix and a remix fucking video. So how does that piece all come together?
So I made the song, and I don't know if it's before I made the video or after I made the video, but there's this lady named Renata Bean. Shout out to Renata Bean. She got in touch with me, and I guess she was already doing her homework on me or whatever. And when I put that song, I was like, man, I know Gangsta Pat. I used to be his manager. You know what I'm saying? So she's like, man, ooh, I could get you this song. And she told me how to find him on Facebook and all that shit. She was like, hit him up, you know. And I hit him up on Facebook, and like, man, you know, I gave him his roses. While I could still smell them, and told him I remade his song. Like, man, check it out. I want to see what you feel. He checked it out. He's like,
That's a little nerve wracking, right? You send somebody a song and you remade theirs, and it's one of his bigger songs, you know. So it's like that's a little nerve wracking to send somebody like one of their bigger songs and say I remade it.
I murdered. I had to make sure I murdered that shit. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You cannot come weak on this shit. You got to pay homage, you know. So he fucked with it. He's like, man, thank you for keeping my song alive, man, for real, you know, man. He's like, man, if anything you need, I fuck with you. Like, man, you could whatever, do whatever. He, you know, he just blessed me. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I fuck with you, you know. And then Psycho Memphis, who's also on the song.
yeah.
He heard it. Like, man, you killed that shit. You know, he got to fucking with me heavy. Like, man, we need to do this and we need to do that. Like, ooh. So I'm like, well, shit, can I get a remix then? Like, hell yeah, let's get a remix. And Pat agreed to do the remix and shit. And then I went down there in Memphis and shit. We recorded in one of them legendary ass studios. I forgot what's the name of it. It's a legendary ass studio though, but it's well known in Memphis. But yeah, they took me around Memphis to everywhere, man, and kicked it, chilled. Then we started, you know, I started bringing them around Bone. Like I started, you know, like, man, let's perform this shit.
Yeah.
Shit. Then I actually introduced Gangsta Pat and Psycho Memphis to Bone, and it was like one of the dope. It was like a fucking. I was watching a movie, like. I'm like, before I'm like, I go to Crazy. He was the first person I talked to. Like, y'all heard of Gangsta Pat? It's like, yeah, Crazy. Like Crazy was a fan of him.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, well, this him right here. You know, boom. They got into him real good. Crazy and Gangsta Pat, real click tight. And then I introduced. Actually, they was all there. No, Lazy wasn't there when I first introduced him. But it was Busy, Crazy, Lazy, and Wish. No, Busy, Crazy, Flesh. Busy, Crazy, Flesh, and Wish, and introduced them. They all knew, you know. They was like, man, yeah, ooh, they kicked it. Shit was dope.
Yeah, it's pretty historic, you know, photo that you're in with all of them. Just because, again, as Bone fans, you know, we always think of Memphis, and then we automatically go to 3-6 Mafia, and you skip over the fact that a guy like Pat was so important to their scene. And because of the issues in Memphis, it probably kept Bone and them apart from each other during that time, because Memphis was riding so heavy for 3-6 and there was all that beef. So it's really historic to see this many years later you bring all those people together. I mean, you've been through a lot, Smokey. You've met a lot of people. You've done a lot of cool shit. But it's like moments like that are real awe moments, like you said, that you're just like, damn, I did this shit. And I saw Psycho Memphis really. I mean, he loves Bone. I see him repping really hard.
He ride for Bone.
Yeah.
Memphis,
yeah. And I mean, he's been there for anybody listening that doesn't know. I mean, he's been around Gangsta Pat from the very beginning as well. You know, he's been there. You know, so it's like.
But yeah, they did shows with Eazy-E and all that shit. Like, Pat was supposed to get a deal with Ruthless and shit like that. Like, Pat was making his noise too, like long time ago, like with the heavies and shit. You know, Ice Cube and all that shit.
One of the craziest things I think I've seen on your social media, and you're a guy that makes sure that you keep track of things well, but one of the craziest things I saw was like a 2-day or 3-day period with you and Boozy Badass's house. Just randomly play. And I'll tell you this right now. At that time, I had seen you doing some shit with Bone, you know, so that's kind of what I got used to. And all of a sudden, it's just you, and you just selfie, and you like in Lil Boozy's house just talking shit. And I was like, this motherfucker Smokey gets himself into some shit. How did that all come together? Tell us about that experience. This is one of the most polarizing individuals in hip hop still.
Man, you did. Hey, this is dope. This is a dope ass interview. I could just chill, like. That shit crazy. That shout out to my boy Quick Salvo, man. So I was on the Puff Puff Pass tour with Bone. They was on the Puff Puff Pass tour with, you know, Snoop and shit and Dog Pound. And we had to do a show in Atlanta. This is when Bone was beefing with the Migos and everything. You know what I'm saying? So we was doing a show, and my boy Quicksavo, he got a feature with Lil Boosie. Now Quicksavo, he an artist, but he also do like some of the rawest fucking music videos I've ever seen. You know what I'm saying? So he good at editing and you know what I'm saying, coming up with dope ass content. And so he got a song with Boosie featuring his brother who's locked up, you know what I'm saying? That's locked up for some bogus ass charges, and they got him like doing a life term and shit. We're trying to get him out. You know what I'm saying? So Quick Sabo just so happened to be down there handling business with Boosie on his own shit, on his own mission. You know what I'm saying? Because he an upcoming artist too. But he from where I'm from. Well, he from Seattle, but he was out here working, you know what I'm saying? And we cool. We fuck with the same circle. So Quick Sabo, it was social media. Fucking Sabo was posting that he with Boosie, and I'm posting I'm with Bone. And he was like, he hit me up like, you in Atlanta? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, man, where you at? I'm wrapping up this shit with Boosie, but he didn't want me to come back. I'm like, oh, okay. He said, you with Bone? I'm like, yeah, man, pull up. You know, boom. Network. He say, man, I got to go back to Boosie house tomorrow. Like, you know what I'm saying? You trying to come with? I'm like, hell yeah. He's like, all right, let me holler at them and tell them, you know what I'm saying? You coming through. And then shit, he hollered at them. We linked. We went to Boosie house. We spent the night over there, bro. That shit was like another fucking movie. Like,
oh, that was
Boosie is who he is. He is who he is, bro.
Yeah.
Ain't no fraud or none of that shit. He motherfucking that nigga came down like when I first we was there waiting for him all day or something. Like the nigga was asleep or some shit upstairs. We just chilling in his crib. We could do whatever we want, bro. We smoking, and then when he finally come downstairs, he just hollering at everybody like, man, I need some more weed. Call the weed man. Woo. He come downstairs, put his pole on the motherfucking counter. I know that move right there. It's like, nigga, don't try no shit in my crib. You know what I'm saying? Like, he put the pole on the counter and like, yeah, woo. Just, you know, I'm comfortable in my crib. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wish you would pull some shit. That's how I felt. Like, I'm like, shit, I'm the book, nigga. I ain't on shit. I'm kicking it with you. Like, he was cool as fuck. But it was like, it was a fucking long day though. Like, we watched the Bears lose the playoffs, all type of shit. He had a personal chef in there cooking gumbo. It was the biggest pot of gumbo I ever seen in my life. Like, it was big and tall, and took up the whole stove. Like, man, shit, we ate some gumbo, smoked weed, kicked it, shit. Then I was hollering at him and telling him how, you know, I'm out here with Bone and shit. And he like, for real? I was like, yeah. I was like, you ever met? But they never had met. So wow. I put him on the phone with Lazy.
Oh, dope.
And Lazy, they was talking about making a song. And
oh shit.
I'm like, send me the beat. So they, you know, Lazy hit me up like, man, did he send the beat? I'm like, I don't know. I'm gonna holler at him again. Like, you know what I'm saying? They trying to get their communication on. Then I had to, you know, get them each other's numbers and all that shit. And so we was trying to get a Lil Boosie and Bone Thugs or Lil Boosie and Lazy Bone song or some shit going on. And then I was like, man, if y'all do that shit, I better get a verse.
I was gonna say, I hope we hear Smokey on this shit.
I better get a verse on that motherfucker. But yeah, hey, hopefully that still happens, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, spent the night over there, chilled. I had to go back. I had to go to the next show or back home. Yeah, back home, I think, because that was the end of that you know, that run for that Puff Puff Pass tour.
You know, we've talked about, you spent a lot of time around any and everyone you can think of. Twisted, Do or Die, Bone, Snoop Dogg.
No, not Snoop yet. I've been in the facility.
You were there, right? And they're real strict on the security.
Man, he got security like the president.
Yeah.
Everybody, I done met damn near the whole dog. I done met Daz and Corrupt twice. They know me. They fuck with me. I got a song with Daz. Like, they fuck with me, the dog man. And I met Warren G. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, I've been right there. Like one time, they made us all stay. Everybody that was performing, no matter who, everybody stay in the room while he go to the stage. Like that motherfucker got top notch security. Like man, he the president.
If I remember correctly, you've even met Shock G.
I did a show with Shock G. Yeah.
So Smokey, you've interacted with a lot of what we could definitely consider legends. Is there one that has stood out more than the other as far as impact on you?
That stood out.
Yeah, was there a meeting with one of them that kind of just like was really impactful? It gets hard the more you meet and the more people from your childhood that you start to meet, but is there somebody that you met that you were like, wow, I can't believe I'm here? I mean, maybe it was being in Lil Boosie's house. That's fucking big right there, but
I don't know, man. It's kind of like, I don't know. It's kind of like, it'd be like a dream come true when I meet him, but it's just like, I'm on a mission. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm steady meeting these people, I must be on the right path. God got me through the right path. And I done met people, it's just like, wow. But it's like when I be having like these real, like not just meeting them and taking a picture with them, when I'm actually interacting, talking and getting some knowledge and shit like that, and they actually trying to, put a nigga on point or whatever, not just with the music neither. It just be a lot of dope ass conversations. It'd be different people. You know what I'm saying? Like Cold Hard from Crucial Conflict. Like he be talking like giving me knowledge and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it'd be different impacts. You know what I'm saying? But I did meet people like Tretch, like he gave game like off the rip, Tretch. I just met Ice Cube. It's like, wow, that's the forefather. That's the create NWA. Like, but you know how I met Ice Cube? Fucking Cold Hard. Cold Hard introduced me to Ice Cube.
wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Proving it's who you know.
On some surprise shit. On some like smoke. I'm finna take you somewhere. I ain't telling you where we're going. But today, it's gonna be a good day. I'm like, what? Today gonna be a good day. You know what I'm saying? And then we pop up at some fucking Big 3 game and we sitting right behind Ice Cube. Like smoke, Cube, big smoke, like, and this Cold Hard, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it'd be different people like Ice-T. I met Ice-T. I done met Dougie Fresh a couple times. He remembered me after the first time out at the neck. Like, what? I was like, Dougie Fresh remember me, bro. You know, like I done met Cool Mo D. I done met like the people that my uncle was playing, the music that my uncle was playing, or the people on my posters is like boom. But then I get to have these like in-depth, like real bonds with certain ones, and they put me on game, and
Yeah.
dope. It's just that, like.
I recently got to watch you live out a hip hop tradition that few get to, and you got to put record label chains around the necks of your artist at Empty Souls. Can you talk about that moment and the progression of your company from when you started it up to that moment and getting to be the CEO and where you guys are now?
Well, man, that's something I always wanted to do, man. But everything that I do, when you see whatever the fuck I do, everything I do, I work hard for. I make it happen. By the blessings of God, I make everything happen. I get it out the mud. I make it happen. Like everything, you know what I'm saying? So getting them chains is something that I always wanted to do for the whole real originals, you know what I'm saying? But it's just, I'm doing it, making this money by myself, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, y'all gonna have to pay for that shit. If you want it, you're gonna have to put chip in. But this time it was like, I'm building a new empire, a new imprint, and motherfuckers is working and showing that they want it as bad as I want it, So it's like, boom. but I still was able to get like, some, you know, original members a piece, So Stacks the Realist, she got one. Shout out to Stacks the Realist. That's my artist. We just celebrated a 1 year anniversary of her being signed with me. She got some music that's about to drop a new video. And then who else? I gave Makoto, who been through everything. If it weren't for Makoto, I wouldn't be. If it weren't for Makoto, I wouldn't be here right now. Still, like for real, like I would. There would not be me. He like the Manny Fresh to Cash. He the Manny Fresh to Cash Money. You know what I'm saying? The Dr. Dre, the fucking Ruthless and Death Row.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
That's big.
So gave Kodo one and gave Kwani, my little bro, 797 Kwani. He been with me, like he was a fan of mine. That's how I first met him. He sent me a video of him rapping my shit. A little kid, I'm like, what? You know what I'm saying? And then I peeped out who he was and seeing him as an artist, and we just grew a bond. And he, did a lot of production and engineering and recording me and giving me this new sound, you know what I'm saying? So I could stay in the game, you know what I'm saying? So, shout out to 797 Kwani, he an artist as well. So he got one, and then, we got a couple more to pass out. I got PC, the bad guy, who been originally a part of Empty Souls Through the Door. He got one. My brother Jimmy Bones, who been since birth, he got one. And he the reason this is all. If I'm gonna be, if I'm gonna be leaving my mark on this earth, I'm gonna let it be known. It's really because of my brother Jimmy Bones that I'm in this position with like real talk. He solidified that shit just by being a twin. and knowing all of fucking Lazy's lyrics. And he grew the bond with Lazy first. For real.
Do you ever find it difficult trying to balance being Smokey the Bandit and push your career and then also try to like be the CEO and help, other up and coming artists kind of find their footing?
Yeah, it's been hard. It took its toll on me a long time ago, but then, everybody that was originally with me, I never gave up on nobody. Everybody just grew up and grew into some other shit, or they into family, or, whatever. I'm just passionate about this is what I want. This is how I want to make a living. This is what I love. Like, this is, you know what I'm saying? Everything, the culture, So everybody don't have that same vision, but if you do, then you still on the same mission with me, So a couple people still on the same mission with me, and we've been on the mission.
Yeah.
We ain't stopping until we still on the fucking mission right now,
Yeah.
And God been placing us in position. God been really blessing me, and I'm thankful about, what I'm saying, because it's been a road. It's been a road. It got motherfucker, if you're from Chicago, you know about the potholes. So you got to be able to know how to handle these motherfucking potholes. When you, boop, 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 you know what I'm saying? Ride that bitch, keep riding. Even if the motherfucking tire pop, boom, get out, change the motherfucking tire, put that shit back on, keep riding. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it been.
So you were coming into the end, but we had talked about this at the beginning, and I wanted to make sure we came back to it because I think it's one of the cooler parts of the early part of your career. We had touched on you rap, you've been a promoter, you've had a TV show, you had radio, and one of the first big things that I really saw connected to you was the interview with Fat Joe on your radio show. Fat Joe in this time frame is without question considered a legendary figure in hip hop. This is a guy that's real fucking hard to get hands on. And you're doing an interview show for your radio show or your interview. You and I doing a similar role. How'd you land that Fat Joe interview?
Shout out to my man's Fred Fleming. My boy Fred Fleming made that happen. Fred Fleming is somebody who he was a promoter and he put on a lot of big shows and would have a lot of big name artists do the shows. You know what I'm saying? And Twister was one of the main ones. So, through Fred Fleming, that's how I grew a relationship with Twister and shit like that. And but he had booked a show with Fat Joe, and he knew I had a radio show. He's like, "Man, Smoke, you want to interview him?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah, fuck!" But a lot of people don't know this. uh, um, my radio show had just like ended right before that. Like me and my homie, shout out to the preacher, my homie preacher moved, and he had all the equipment for the radio show. So he had moved to like Florida or something, and I didn't have the radio show no more, you know. But Fred Fleming called like, "Smoke, you want to interview?" I just made it up. Like I put, I set some shit up to record his ass, record him on the phone, and then I put the video together and to promote the motherfucking concert because I was opening up for him too.
Hell yeah.
So I just made like a fucking podcast interview type shit before podcast. Like just recorded the shit and then made a video. And then I did the show with him and got footage with him and then put all that shit to get edited. I did that edited shit. I knew how to edit a long time ago. I need to relearn that shit though. But like, yeah, I have edited and put a video out with that interview. And I was asking him some real good questions. Like, cause I know how to host shit too.
Yeah. You and I are like, I knew what I was getting into tonight. You're a guy that's, you've worn many hats and you've done a lot of stuff in your career. You're a guy that's leveled up many, many times. And I think during this interview, we've established just how many times you've evolved and leveled up and gained the respect and admiration of your peers. Of course, in this industry, it's never enough and there's always a push for more. What do you think it's going to take for you to achieve that next level that you're pushing for?
I'm trying to build my fan base to be a little bit stronger. Once I get that fan base a little bit stronger, like I got a great fan base right now, but that's what it take though. I gotta have a bone like Colt. You feel me? I gotta have a bandit gang. You feel me? Like, you understand? So we pushing, we charting. You know what I'm saying? Like how they be doing for busy. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm working on. So you know what I'm saying?
You guys got to push for that like Mo Thug 5 or whatever that it may be, because I always say that the thing that won those original Mo Thugs over to the fans were those compilations, because it gave the fans that like connection to them. And of course the bridge was Bones on all these songs. All the fans are gonna fuck with these songs. Oh, by proxy now you love all these affiliates. And I felt like that compilation, especially now with, I would say, all the affiliate groups being stronger than they've ever been, being more connected than they've ever been, that affiliate album would bang. Yeah, that would be big. We need that.
Songs and shit with each other. Like what? Oh, okay, that's what you want. I bet. Hey, YouTube.
Hey, we need that affiliate album. You guys do it strong. You work with them. You got affiliates even in your newest single. No Smoking, Lady Smokers on it. You got even, cameos from the Fifth Dog in it. It's the new shit that just dropped. Smokey kind of making the name for being the weed guy. And, we talked about it earlier, how Wanna Smoke kind of seemed like the real big Smokey song. But this one people seem really excited about. This one, I don't know. How you feeling with this one? People seem to really like this one. And you think this is going to work in?
Wow. I'll smoke anybody in the camp. That's why. Anybody. I'm that smoker. Like they know that. Everybody know it. Smoke Dog, baby. Remember that shit. I'm bringing it. What Stu D started saying, hey, Smokey be bringing that rapper weed. Yeah, I'm bringing the rapper weed. You know what I'm saying? Shit just people do, you know, we just with duct tape game, but that's still family, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you never know when my Lazy Bone song. I mean, I got a song with Lazy on it. It could have had more on it, but it was like, nah, we can't use that. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, we done made hotel songs and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? We be kicking it. Like people be bringing. Sometimes AC the chemist will bring his lab, mobile lab, or sometimes I have my little bro 797 Quantity bring the mobile lab, and people we be trying to make shit happen. So it's just and then shit gonna happen when it's supposed to happen. You
So
know.
what are you working on now? Is No Smoking meant for like a upcoming album? Is it just a one-off single? Like what's in the works right now and for the future for you?
Well, I've been dropping singles lately, and I'm about to start working on. I'm getting into album mode right now. Like I got a whole bunch of new beats and shit. I'm about to be working on and shit. But like I just been making singles and still pushing Juvie World. You know, that was my last album that came out probably like a year ago. But I'm still pushing it. No Smoking is off that album. You know what I'm saying? So it's like even though I'm dropping these singles right now, letting y'all know I'm still working on. I'm just trying to keep y'all, because people attention span is short nowadays. Like
Yeah.
if you ain't staying consistent, they don't care about you shit no more. Like man,
Hot today, forgot tomorrow, bro.
real. So it's like I'll be trying to stay consistent with that too. Making new songs, but I gotta do the footwork and grind and marketing and all that shit. Everything I do, I wear so many hats. And so I'm getting ready to work on a new album. I already made that announcement, but I just dropped like 3 new singles. Well, two technically. I dropped Check a Bag, produced by my homie Geek on the beat. Um, that's out right now on all platforms. I got a video with that out, Flash in the video, uh, 8 Money in the video. You know what I'm saying? Who else? Well, check it back. Oh, Cold Heart in the video, Crucial Conflict,
Eight
Twister.
Money. I've talked to Eight Money about him coming on the show too. That's another guy that the fans may not realize how important Eight Money
Yeah.
is to that
Oh yeah,
background
he
picture.
is.
Yeah, yeah.
hmm And B-Lo from Do or Die, he in there. So I had my homie Sean Dale. Shout out to Sean Dale. He the one who got my Want to Smoke like on the airwaves, going heavy rotation out here in Chicago on Power 92, Raw TV Radio. He got my shit in heavy rotation out here. So he in the video. So I got a lot of people in that video. Check a Bag. So check that out. Then I put out Taekwondo. But see, these songs were supposed to be submitted. We was working on the Flesh and Bone, well, we still are working on the Flesh and Bone compilation, a Flesh and Bone Global compilation,
I love that. Let's
and
make that happen.
and but it's still happening because we've been talking about it. But those songs were submitted for that. But I seen Flesh get to dropping singles and shit, and it's like, oh nah, well let's shit. You dropping Flesh dropping new singles. I hold on, I can't y'all can't just hold on to the music. Got to put the shit out. So I put the shit out like, and he like for sure, Let's be. He just want to see people working. He want us working. So I dropped them 2 singles, Check a Bag and Taekwondo, and then we just on some working shit. Lady Smoker and Family Affair. We've been on the road, and like we made that song for the Juvie World album, but we always been talking about shooting a video, but we was gonna be on some whole other shit like some real setup production shit, but we all just be we be in different directions in real life until it's time to come as one on the road. And so planning that shit was getting fucked up. So we just was like, fuck it. I'm gonna bring a camera. I got a hold of the camera. And it was like, wherever we at, we gonna just shoot some video. We gonna shoot some footage. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Make sure we buy a no smoking sign or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, and just shoot a video. And then Lazy and Flesh was like, seeing us working, it was like happy about that shit. And jumped in the camera, Lazy jumped in the video. Flesh jumped in the video, and then Flesh even grabbed the camera and recorded some of the video.
Hell yeah.
You
That's
know what I'm
awesome.
saying? So the video was shot by me, 7i7 Quantity, and Flesh.
Wow.
Directed.
Co-directed by the Fifth Dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope.
Smoker, you know what I'm saying? With Lady Smoker and Family Affair, Q from Family Affair, but the whole, they twins, so they gonna be together all the time. Just, I think that day Q, when we recorded that song, Q wasn't there for some reason.
From our conversations off the show that one of my goals has been to kind of break the ice between the new affiliates and the fans to try to help make this better connection so that we can get the support that I think that we need behind the new affiliates. So in your opinion, who's a newer affiliate that we should get on the show and interview that we haven't had on? We've only had a few of them. Who do you think we should try to get next?
Newer affiliate?
Yeah, because we've always been known for being the guys that we got the Mo Thugs from the '90s.
If y'all gonna interview anybody, y'all should interview the whole gang. But you saying newer, like
because like
part of my
part of the current generation, because it's
what they call it on the double XL, the freshman class,
right? Yeah. And just so you know, I got a bunch on the list, but I'm always curious who people think we should do. I think when I talked to like Rocky Rock, he said you got to get Kane. You should get. I can't remember. Maybe he said HC. He definitely said Kane. So I'm just curious who you think we should get on.
I would definitely say HC the Chemist, because that's Lazy right hand man. Like, I've been hearing a lot about, I'll be in the bone groups and shit, and I'll be seeing a lot of people talk about like how Blaze, that shout out to Blaze, that's my dude. Blaze,
yeah, he was in here earlier showing love.
He did his motherfucking thing with BB, you know what I'm saying? And how they were saying Raiden Rush is doing for Flesh what Blaze was doing for BB. But HC is what Blaze is to BB, HC is to Lazy. HC producing a lot of shit for Lazy and Bone. You know what I'm saying? So I would say HC the Chemist. I would say if you want history, I would say Sloan.
Rock said Sloan as well.
Lady Smoker, to draw in the lady crowd, you know what I'm saying? Definitely Duct Tape Gang, because they some characters right there. Them niggas wild. Them niggas, but one is wild, one is laid back, but they both get it. Hey, them niggas, them some real ass niggas. They know how to, you know what I'm saying?
Listen, I want fucking Kaipo, because he pushed. Kaipo wanted me to fucking. He's like, you don't get any of the new guys, and I was like, bro, I'll get you right now. And he's like, no, not me, but just get some of the new ones. And I'm like, nah, now I gotta get you.
Kaipo made some moves. I don't know him personally, but he done did his thing for Lazy.
Yeah, I want to get him. The DJs are always a different thing. Like you said, your first interaction was Ice. I'd love to get Position, because these guys are like the unofficial member that's always, the DJ's always there. He's always there. He's at every show. He's the guy behind it all. So they always got a cool story.
Me and Position came in damn near. Well, no, Position was in. Man, I remember we had a meeting. Like, I'm like, how you just, when I first met Position, like, man, he talk about he going to Brazil and overseas with them and shit. I'm like, man, how I've been kicking it with them. Like, man, he told me his story and he just been on his thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So Position's still an artist too.
Oh yeah, I'd love to talk to Position.
Position is a dope artist.
Yeah. Smokey, we covered a lot of stuff. We covered a lot of history. I think we dove into a lot of things that maybe the fans didn't know. It's been my pleasure to help bring a lot of this to the light to the fans and to just kind of let them know more about you and who you are. And everything that we covered, though, is there anything that we didn't touch on that you want to make sure the fans know, or, you know, that we just may not have covered.
Man, y'all covered some shit. You did your motherfucking thing.
I fucking do this, man.
You fucking do this, man.
I told you, bro.
You covered some shit, bro. I had
Yeah.
you stuttering and all types of shit out here. Like,
Hey.
whoa, hold on.
I hope it was everything that it was supposed to be for you, Smokey. It's been a long time coming. I wanted to make sure that it was great, that we covered your career in the manner that it deserved, because I think, you know,
Shit out my fucking career.
you
bro.
know it. Hey, I want this to be a piece that you can constantly show your fans and say, hey, if you want to know Smokey the Bandit, all you got to do is go watch this. So,
Man, hell fucking yeah, I am. Goddamn.
hell
Shit,
yeah.
y'all-
Smokey,
Y'all did some history.
you know it.
That's dope.
You know it, brother. I appreciate you coming on the show. Everybody in the chat, let's fill this chat up one time with those smoke emojis for Smokey the Bandit. And
I reflect on. I did a lot of fucking shit, nigga.
hey, this is what we're here for. This is what we're here for. I told before we ever did this, what I say, Smokey, I said I fucking do this, Smokey.
I fucking did a lot of shit. You got me reminiscing on some shit. Like, damn.
You know it, bro. You know it.
All right.
You know it.
All right.
Hell yeah. I appreciate you, Smokey. I thank you for coming on, man. I hope now that we've covered it, we got the history out of the way. Next time we get you on, we just talk some hip hop.
For sure, man. Man, you put some fucking history on my shit. Motherfuckers better put some respect on my name after this motherfucking shit for real.
You already know, bro.
On my name. Boy,
Hey.
I am on Beyond the Harmony name. They know how to. Hey, you want a real motherfucking interview?
Let motherfuckers know, bro. I do this. This is no
Come to Beyond
joke.
the Harmony.
One time for Smokey the Bandit, my guy. I appreciate you so much, brother.
Yes, sir. Salute. Thank y'all.
You have a good night, man.
All right.
Boom. Boom, boom, boom.
Boom. There goes another one. There goes another one.
It's done it. We did it. I done it. I did it. I know. You ain't even got to tell me, John. You ain't even got to tell me, because the same way Smokey feels hype, I feel hype. I saw the comments all night in the chat. I saw the reaction on Smokey's face. I fucking do this shit. This is what
Yes,
I do. God damn it.
Bro. Another one for the history books. Smokey, BTH alumni for life. But he's that dude, man. You can't not love that guy, man. And you can't not root for him. You cannot just feel the charisma. And he's like that, you know, there's like certain actors and certain comedians that other actors and comedians love. Like they're the favorites of the guys in the trade. And I feel like he's one of those guys that is like a rapper's rapper kind of thing. So, or at least he's just that dude that everybody just loves to chill with. So,
you know, and I
Smokey's
wanted
cool,
to make
man.
sure that it was important for me as I put things together to make sure that we showed off the impressive work that he's put into his career, you know, without Bone. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I think for fans, a lot of times, like the fans get in their mind like, oh, you guys are just this certain way because you're around Bone. And I was like, man, Smokey's worked his fucking ass off. This guy, he's respected by his peers. He's won more than one, Chicago Music Award, not Hip Hop Award, Chicago Music Award. And it's important that we acknowledge that this guy's in addition to the Bone Camp. Shout out to Joseph French, $20 super chat. He said another top-notch interview. Can't wait for the next one. Joseph, we thank you so much. As always, you guys know all your super chats, all your donations go directly back into the show, and we will make sure we put your $20 to good use. So we thank you, Joseph French. But yeah, man, I wanted to make sure that we showed that the guy has worked his ass off to be in the position that he's in. It wasn't handed to him. He's had to constantly level up, and work hard, and he has. And it was a real privilege to be able to put that together and make sure that the presentation was correct for his current fans and for his future fans, and hopefully fans that he gains from this. It literally, if we did this, and this is one of the corniest, if you can just change one life, it was all worth it type thing. But seriously, if we make Smokey one fan out of this interview that was like, you know what, I didn't give the guy a chance, but after I heard that fucking interview, I realized like this is a motherfucking real one, then that's what it was here for, bro. That's what it was here for.
Yeah, another cool concept. It's not like it's a new one, but as you guys were talking about, like the Flesh and Bone global compilation potential.
I love that idea. I love that.
And we were discussing Mo Thugs. One of the things that like Strange Music did to promote all their acts was all those, they weren't called ciphers. They had a name. I know you probably know the name. They do like one per year.
They call them like a strange cipher or some shit like that.
Yeah, and it would be like on rooftops, and you get a chance to see all the guys get on the track, and
I think they're the strangulation cipher, some shit like that. Yeah, I always love those. They got corny by the end, but the initial ones were fire.
Yeah, and Mo Thug Family Tree was like that. Shots to the Double Glock were like that. And think about how Shots to the Double Glock has stood the test of time, and how that introduced us to all the Mo Thugs, and Family Tree did that, and also like No Pretender and Other Side, and there's a bunch of them, and they haven't done that. They've done them on like the Thug Line albums, but they haven't been like official. Like this is a posse cut with a music video, with a setting, with calling all the guys out, like this is who these guys are, just to give everybody a feel. Because when it's like buried on a Thug Line compilation that kind of comes out after the fact, it's like, or if it's a track buried on a Crazy Bone album or on a Lazy Bone album, or even on like a Busy Bone album, like Alpha and Omega, it doesn't have that same impact. Whereas it's presented as like a posse cut single, the way Strange did it, and the way a couple other groups do it. So if they could just do one of those like that, I think it would be great. And I feel like that Lazy Bone video that I was talking about earlier was kind of like a cool homage to it, even though it was just two rappers. But if they do it with the whole lineup, so Flesh and Bone Global, Harmony House, and whatever Mo Thug is, and whatever Crazy Bones Click is, if they all do their own, I think that would be a cool look. Plus, just for the history to look back on.
Yeah. I think anything like that helps connect the fans. Because it is like Smokey said, the Bone fans can be tough. This is a tough group to break the ice, and when you see so many people come and go over the years, it's almost easy as a fan to become protective of Bone and say, oh well, this guy's just trying to use Bone or anything like that, because you see so many people come and go, and of course you're protective over Bone first. And I know that it's something that I say all the time is the fucking, hey, these compilations help connect the fans, but they truly do. Thug TV and the first two Mo Thug compilations are what invested us as fans, and it's why those people still have some sort of important connection 20 plus years later, and it's because of those first two albums and that VHS, and the way they went through that VHS and introduced you to each artist, and you got the little interview, and then you got their video, and you were like, yo, I fuck with this motherfucker. And if similar things start happening with the current generation of affiliates, no matter what it is, a compilation or, like you said, a video cipher, which is something also Shady Records did with all their artists, I really think that the fans buy in to the new generation in a different way. I think fans do buy in now. It's just different than it was, and I think that those type of projects could make it similar. Dude, I'll tell you right now, I would be super excited if they announced like even just a Flesh and Bone Global compilation. Like I would be intrigued. I would be it would have my mind running wild. Like, how are they going to do this? Is it just going to be like a Smokey song and then just a Duct Tape Gang? Or is it going to be like a member of Duct Tape Gang and Smokey and Flesh on one song, and is the compilation broken up like that? Like, I would be really intrigued. That would reel me in.
Yeah. And even along the lines of if they're all still trying to present as like, hey, we're also rappers, not just harmonizers, then to have it to be not competitive, but a posse cut that's just raw rapping style. And that's a lot coming from me saying that. But, along those lines of Strange Music, as well as doing like some more pleasant ones like Family Tree. I think to do both of those would be the right thing, just to show the full arsenal, showcase everybody. And it would to get an idea. And I might have said this at some point on the show, and we know now from the interview with Majesty why it was the way it was. But like the Alpha and Omega album and the beginning and the end album, that showcase that had all the 7 Sign, well, not all of them, but many of the 7 Sign artists are throughout both of those albums, but without a music video and without like pointing out like, hey, this is this guy. You were just kind of left like listening to a Busy Bone album saying, all right, 7 Sign guys are on here, but what? So a video could have made that go so much farther, but we know there was like budget constraints and whatnot.
Yeah.
So just showcase these guys. If you got guys on your roster, let us know who. I mean, it's nice that they are the before card on the concerts, but give them a video and let everybody do their thing.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that it helps. And I'm hoping, like I said, I hope that this helps. I hope that this platform helps start breaking some of that ice. And who knows, maybe this platform helps break the ice a little bit to the point that, someone like Flesh sees some of his affiliated artists on here and he's like, yo, we got to get this compilation. Like, motherfuckers love y'all. So, that's the true goal right there. Matt Weaver, I know you're chilling in the background. We've been wondering how this would go. You were a Beyond the Harmony fan before you were ever a member of the team. Smokey Da Bandit, did it live up to expectation? Did we give you all kinds of new info about Smokey that you had no idea about?
Absolutely gave Smokey the platform that I think he is long overdue, deserving. I was smiling. I loved it. I love all of his stories. He's a really good storyteller. Can you imagine if your friend said, hey, do you want to go sleep at Boozy's house tonight? Like, you have no idea what the next 24 hours of your life is going to entail.
Fuck no. That's like, fuck no.
So I think and I have a funny feeling that might have been a little bit of a highlight reel for Smokey, but I have a funny feeling there's a lot more where that came from.
Yeah. The guy's done a lot, but when I saw that happening on his social media, I was like, what in the fuck is going on? Like, because it's one thing, like, like you said, like, he met Ice Cube at a basketball game. So it's one thing for him to post, like, a picture of him and somebody backstage at one of the shows they're doing. But when it was, like, video from his house, I'm like, what the fuck, bro? Like, what a crazy thing. It's like,
get a sleepover.
Right. Like, that's totally some other shit, man.
I love it, man. He's I love his attitude and his personality, and he seems like a very, very genuine person, and I really appreciated him.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun.
And the connection to be that liaison between Chicago and Cleveland, that's also a big plus there. I mean, I'm sure that's been being bridged over the last 2 decades.
Yeah. But they got an active player in it right now, though. Even though it's cool and they've been good, and obviously we've seen collaborations between Do or Die and Bone members, and obviously Twista and Bone. Like, it's nice to have that inside guy, that kind of is there with them both, because it's like it's one thing for them for rappers to be like, oh yeah, there's no problems here. And it's like, well, who the fuck really ever knows, But then you got this guy that's like really with them both, and it's slept on because they didn't have beef. But that Gangsta Pat Bone bridging that he did. That was big, man. That was big because that may have never happened because, like I said, at that time there was so much hostility between Bone and Memphis that even though Gangsta Pat and 3-6 had beef, it was like Bone wasn't gonna fuck with nobody out of Memphis. And so who knows if that connection ever gets made ever. You know, even though there wasn't a reason for it not to, it's like also what is the reason for it to at this point? And you know, Smokey making it happen. I think that's a highlight, you know, piece just because maybe not in the grand scheme of hip hop, but in Memphis rap music, especially like 3-6 Mafia fans and shit like that. Gangsta Pat's a big part of that of their picture. So it's like that. I just think that's a really cool moment.
Yeah, it's also kind of cool how a lot of the Midwest guys connect with all the other Midwest locations because he had all kinds of different regions discussed, kind of like 101 did, and it's just neat getting to hear how different regions operate. So, yeah,
man, it's been a night. I worked hard on that. Listen, every time Smokey was happy, I was happy. Y'all saw my little notes in the chat. I was like, I'm glad he's having a good time. I enjoy that mind-blowing moment where I see them like, how the fuck did you know that, man? It's like, hey, we fucking do this over here. We did another one. If we're not counting the doubles, you know, because we've had a couple people on twice, Blaze, Mohart, Soulja Boy. If we're not counting those and we just count all them as one and not two, Smokey Da Bandit, not including the mini interviews, full-length interviews, 29th full-length interview on here.
Oh.
Not counting the couple of doubles we got. 29 times. 29. 32 if you count the doubles. 32 times somebody has sat down for an hour plus with us and went the fucking full mile with me. It's not easy to sit through this barrage of questioning, motherfucker. I came to really pick it apart.
Yeah, bro, dude, it's the legend continues. You couldn't even. It's measured in days. The stuff we tried to bring to the game, bring to the fans, and add to the storyline, and bring all kinds of new people into the story, or bring people you've always heard about to life as well. So you've done a great job with these interviews, and it's been a pleasure being part of it.
It's been good. We are coming into the end of season 4. A couple more episodes coming. You guys will have to stay tuned to our social media. We're at Beyond the Harmony on pretty much everything except for Twitter that doesn't let us have that many characters. And we are Beyond Da Harmony on Twitter. Make sure you're following us on everything so you can stay up to date with what we got going on, who is coming next, what will happen in the off season. Oh my God, the off season. Will there ever be another season? Will Cecil come back? Will they put us on another hiatus? You guys will have to tune in to find out. I feel good. I think it's the end. Matt, you got something else?
It's an everyday thing.
It is an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang. That's what my grandmother would have told me. John, what you got? You got anything else?
I'm just, whenever you get around to watching that Lazy Bone HC the Chemist music video, I want to know how you feel about all the cameos in it.
I'm gonna make sure I'll do that tonight. Okay, I'll make sure that way I can report on it for the next fucking episode.
Nice. Yeah, man. HC, check him out, man. He brought a cool verse on that track. He hung with Lazy Bone. It was awesome.
I think that's it. My name is Cecil West, rocking with the one and only
Jonathan Lippy.
And he is the host with the most, the face that's the best, the fresh gun from the West, right out of Vegas.
My name is Matthew Weaver.
And it's that time. Feenics Ryzin, bring us home.
the bedroom.